Independence Day to Diamondback fans everywhere. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly along the way. First of three, D-backs and the Padres. It's the first start of the month of July for Archie Bradley. And Bob, I think the Archie that we saw in June showed us a lot of good things.
Yeah, he's really made a lot of steps forward in his consistency, his ability to work deeper into the ball game. Had a really nice month of June in his 6 starts. Last time out against the Phillies earlier in this homestand. Gave up a leadoff walk and a 2-run homer, but settled in, worked 6 innings of that ball game. He was not involved in the decision, but once again, just a sign of how Archie has matured as a starting pitcher.
And all these 6 starts in the month of June since his latest recall from Reno. The strikeouts have been there too, Bob. 38 strikeouts in 34 1/3 innings.
And really has gotten back to his strength, which is that fastball curveball combination, really spotting his fastball well, keeping it down in the zone.
Well, here's another guy that had a very good month of June. It's Wil Myers, the Padres first baseman, National League Player of the Month last month.
We've known that Wil Myers is capable of putting up these kind of numbers. This might be the longest stretch he's been hot, but hot he was in the month. 327 average, 11 homers, drove in 33 runs in 26 ball games.
Those 11 home runs in June, a Padres record. He also walks a lot. He walked more than he struck out last year. It's a full house at Chase Field. We are set to go. 4th of July, the Diamondbacks and the Padres. Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink. Switch to CenturyLink Prism TV for an advanced TV experience. Learn more at cprismtv.com. By Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Double Jack Burger today, only at Jack in the Box. By Oregano's. Step up to the plate for a guaranteed home run at Oregano's, your neighborhood pizza joint, location statewide. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you get more standard features for less money. Sports Arizona is brought to you by Lone Butte Casino. Get in on big wins. By Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. By Tire Pros. For the best selection of Continental and General brand tires, visit your local Arizona Tire Pros today. By USAA. Insurance, banking, and investments tailored for the military community. And by Gigablast, 100 times faster internet from Cox. Bring on tomorrow. Inside Chase Field, a big crowd on hand, a festive Independence Day atmosphere. The first of three, the Diamondbacks and the San Diego Padres. Archie Bradley set to take them out. First pitch is next on Fox Sports Arizona. Celebrating our 240th birthday today. Welcome to Chase Field, downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly, and Jody Jackson along the way. Roof and panels closed, nice and comfortable inside. On this 4th of July, the Diamondbacks, baby, won their first 7 games on the 4th of July. And as we play the first of 3 against the Padres, looking to get another Independence Day win against a former D-back, Andy Green.
4th of July is always a special day for ball players. We've talked about it in the past. All these guys that grew up in small towns, the 4th of July was a big deal. You always had a game over at the fairgrounds or somewhere in town. Everybody came out to watch fireworks after the ball game. We've got the same thing going on here tonight.
We sure do. It's close to a full house here tonight. Padres, they're scuffling a bit, 12 under 500 here for 3 after taking 2 of 3 from the Yankees at Petco Park over the weekend. And the lineup tonight for Andy Green and his San Diego club.
Going to lead it off with Melvin Upton Jr. at the top of the order tonight. He'll be out in center field. Will Myers, the player of the month for June, over at first base. Matt Kemp, Diamondback killer, out in right field. Yangervis Solarte at third base. Alex Dickerson in left field. Derek Norris doing the catching. Ryan Schimpf at second base. Alexi Ramirez at short, and Luis Perdomo, the right-hander, on the mound.
And on the mound for the Diamondbacks, your Arizona Ford starting pitcher. It's Archie Bradley, 3-3 in 9 starts, an ERA right at 4.5. And Archie, for the most part, pitched very well in June. Some real progress, which has been very encouraging, but only one win to show for it in 6 starts last month.
Yeah, and really good. His last outing, only 1 walk against the Phillies. That has been an occasional problem for Archie Bradley. Not only the base on balls, but falling behind and putting guys in good hitters count. But last time out against the Phillies, other than the first 2 batters of the game, he really pitched an outstanding ball game for 6 innings.
Oh, Nick Ahmed is back from paternity leave. Peter O'Brien is back in the minor leagues, so a different look to the Diamondbacks defensively tonight. Our Eye on Defense is brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
New day, new corner outfielders. Phil Gosselin in left field tonight with Michael Bourne out in center. Brandon Drury patrolling right field this evening. Jake Lamb at third. Nick Ahmed at shortstop. Gene Segura at second base. Paul Goldschmidt over at first base. Seems appropriate. America's first baseman on 4th of July. And Wellington Castillo behind the plate for right-hander Archie Bradley.
And congratulations again to Nick and Amanda Ahmed. Their baby boy Jackson James is doing well. Ted Barrett, the crew chief, behind the plate tonight. He'll have the balls and strikes. Gabe Morales, Lance Barksdale, and Will Little on the bases. And before we get started, it's time, BB, for your Valley Honda dealers. Key to the game.
Well, partner, what's more American than a muscle car? You know, 4 on the floor. Everybody wanted one when you were a teenager. Well, for Archie Bradley, he's got to control these first 4 guys in the Padres lineup. Upton Jr., Myers, Kemp, and Solarte all swinging hot bats right now. The rest of the lineup, not so much. So we want to put the top 4 on the floor.
4 on the 4th, a top-heavy Padre lineup, and having a very good year in San Diego. Certainly a renaissance season. It's Melvin Upton Jr. who leads it off. Glad you're with us on this 4th of July. The Diamondbacks and the Padres. First pitch swinging, and Upton knocks it into right field. And right away we can see, BB, why you mentioned 4 on the floor.
It's not hard to look at this Padres lineup. Certainly Derek Norris, a guy down there at the bottom that can do some damage. Alexi Ramirez has deceiving power for his slight build, but the top 4 guys in this lineup have been doing most of the damage lately.
And it's been led by this guy. Will Myers, finally healthy, having a big year. 286 already with career highs, 19 homers, 57 RBIs. He leads the Padres in both those categories.
Club record for home runs in the month of June with his 11. One of 2 Padres to ever have 21 or more extra base hits in a single month, joining Greg Vaughn back in 1998.
You got to watch Melvin Upton Jr. He's starting to run again. 3rd in the league, 19 stolen bases. He's only been caught 5 times. Ball 1 to Will Myers. Upton, during his glory days in Tampa Bay, of course, had 3 consecutive 40 steal seasons, stole at least 35 years in a row.
You can always tell how much extra batting practice Will Myers has been taking by the amount of tape that he has on his fingers. He uses no batting gloves, so when he's in that cage a little bit extra, those fingers tend to get torn up, some calluses and blisters. A lot of tape on that left hand tonight.
Archie behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Double play ball. Ahmed, Segura, Goldie, they roll it.
Dial it up. Hard ground ball right to Nick at shortstop. That's always going to be an easy double play. Those 2 guys have really formed a good partnership out there in the middle infield.
Big pitch for Archie, behind in the count to a very hot hitter. Gets 2 quick outs, and now he'll work to Matt Kemp. Kemp 255, 16 home runs. That OPS is right near a career low. 3 of those 16 home runs this year have come against the Diamondbacks. They'll overload the left-hand side defensively. And the breaking ball is in there for a strike. 0-1. Matt Kemp's on base percentage just not there this season. It's only .273 right now, and that's about 70 points below his career mark. But the long ball is always a threat. Archie ahead 1-2.
And partially because of his longevity playing for the Dodgers all those years, now still in the National League West in San Diego, he along with Adrian Gonzalez and Todd Helton among the leaders all time in offensive numbers against the Diamondbacks.
Camp will be 32 in September. 33 career home runs against the D-backs. It stays 1-2. He enjoys hitting here. He says it's a very hitterish park, Chase Field.
We hear that a lot from visiting players.
Guys love to come in here and hit. They all mention the same thing. It's the hitter's background.
Tremendous batter's eye. There's no depth perception problems. I mean, that batter's eye is right behind the center field fence.
Fastball missed down and away, so it's 2-2.
In some ballparks, and I immediately think back to the Astrodome, the batter's eye is way behind the center field fence, which creates an illusion that the pitcher's much bigger than he really is out there on the mound.
Well, it's like trying to play basketball in one of those big domes, right? And you're shooting at the basket and everything's way behind it.
Your perspective is completely thrown off. That was my excuse in the Astrodome.
Well, our staff has been on this. We looked up some Bob Brenly 4th of July numbers. We'll have those later in the broadcast.
America.
Broken bat, backs up on it from the outfield grass. 3 ground ball outs for Archie Bradley. A good start. Diamondbacks coming up. Ball at Chase Field. Gene Segura and Michael Bourne set to lead it off against our Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the Padres. It's Luis Perdomo, 23-year-old right-hander out of the Dominican Republic. He's made 20 appearances this year, but just 5 starts. He's been very hittable, and the home runs have been an issue.
And his previous 5 starts, he gave up 2 runs, then 6 runs, then 3 runs, then 6 runs, and then 3 runs last time. So the Diamondbacks should score 6 against him tonight.
I like where you're going with that.
He throws a heavy, hard sinking fastball, a hard slider to go along with it. Really doesn't change speeds a lot, doesn't have a great feel for pitching yet, but the Padres really like his stuff.
Gene Segura has got the right stuff. 308, 5 home runs, doubled yesterday against the Giants. He's hit in 7 straight. Perdomo jumps ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Robbie Ray, yesterday's starting pitcher. Diamondbacks wearing the 4th of July caps. All the teams in the major leagues have a July 4th look today. There's the Padre version. Base hit. Gene, the hitting machine. A leadoff single to line up for the Diamondbacks tonight.
Well, Gene Segura at the top on base again. What's new? Leading off the game with a base hit into left field. Michael Bourne will follow and play center field. Paul Goldschmidt down at first base. The red hot Jake Lamb at third base. Wellington Castillo heating up behind the plate. Phil Gosselin out in left field. Brandon Drury in right field. Nick Ahmed at shortstop, and Archie Bradley, the pitcher, on the mound.
So now an 8-game hitting streak for Segura. Here's Michael Bourne, 262 and 2 home runs. On Harvey Solarte will creep in from third. Michael's been very adept lately at bunting for base hits. There's a high chopper. Perdomo has it. And they're able to move Segura along. Our eye on defense for the Padres is brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Padres will feature an outfield of Dickerson in left, Upton Jr. in center, Matt Kemp over in right. It'll be Solarte and Ramirez on the left side of the infield with Schimpf and Myers on the right side. Derek Norris doing the catching, and Luis Perdomo, the right-hander, on the mound.
And here is America's first baseman on this Independence Day, Paul Goldschmidt. 292 and 15 home runs. A home run yesterday against the Giants. Perdomo throwing strikes. Goldie's home run yesterday, his first since June 18th at Philadelphia. He set up down and away, but he missed with it. A ball and a strike. Luis Perdomo in his 5 starts this year is 1-2 with a 7.71 ERA. As a starting pitcher, he's given up 20 earned runs in just under 24 innings. Goldie hammers the 1-1 into right center, and it rolls all the way to the wall. Segura scores, and it's 1-0 Diamondbacks. America's first baseman, his 17th double.
Wave the flag, shoot off the fireworks. If there's any player in Major League Baseball that should be hot on the 4th of July, it's America's first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt. A line drive into that gap in right center to drive home the first run of the game.
And here comes the hottest hitter in the lineup. It's Jake Lamb. Jake, 290. He leads the Diamondbacks with 19 home runs, 58 RBIs. He leads the National League with a .607 slugging percentage. Another dramatic home run yesterday to tie the game and force extra innings. Perdomo misses at 95. Lamb's ahead 1-0. Jake has hit a home run in 4 of his last 5 games.
Well, you could just feel it coming for Jake in the ball game yesterday as you see the National League slugging percentage leaders. He struck out his first 2 at bats and lined out to center field in his 3rd at bat, but each one of those at bats he took 2 or 3 good swings where he was right on the ball, then ultimately hit the 2-run homer in the 8th inning.
1-1. This was Jake Lamb yesterday afternoon. Oh, this was earlier. David Hernandez. All 4 home runs here in his last 5 games. Couple against the Phillies. That one high over the center field wall. He got Cueto on Friday, and then this one against Corey Guerin tied it in the 8th inning.
3 towering blasts and a line drive off the top of the fence.
Down here, a ball and 2 strikes. He is second in the major leagues with that .607 slugging percentage, behind only Boston's David Ortiz.
Counting tonight 6 games before the All-Star break, Jake Lamb sitting at 19 homers and 19 doubles. It's happened 4 times in Diamondbacks history, a guy going 20-20 before the All-Star break. Goldie's done it twice. Matt Williams did it in '99 as well as Jay Bell in '99.
Fastball misses in, and it's 2-2.
Tell you, the way he's been swinging about, 1 homer and 1 double in a week, that's a lock.
You would think might do it today the way he's been going. Now there's the other side of the coin there. Jake has been striking out a lot more than I'm sure he would like lately.
I think that's a byproduct of the aggressive swings. vulnerable sometimes. That time a changeup underneath the bat.
2 outs now. Here's Beef Wellington. Well, what's more American than Beef Wellington on 4th of July? 283, 10 home runs.
Can you do Beef Wellington on a barbecue? I imagine you probably could.
I believe. Well, actually, it's probably not something you'd want to eat on Independence Day, because I think Beef Wellington is named for the Duke of Wellington.
Sounds reasonable.
English lord, probably wouldn't fly on 4th of July. Let's stick with hot dogs.
Yeah. Tube steak. I made a strategic error on the 4th of July. My wife and I barbecued for lunch. So
what time's the nap?
Soon.
We'll get you caught in here. Solarte at third. It gets away from Myers, and Goldie scores. Castillo in at second, and it's 2-0. A gift run from the Padres infield.
Solarte has one of the stronger throwing arms when he plays that corner position, but it's a long hop that time that Will Myers could not handle. Goldie was running all the way with 2 outs, rounded third, scored easily, and Beef Wellington ends up in scoring position at second base on the E5.
Phil Gosselin the start in left field tonight. Nick Ahmed activated from paternity leave, and Peter O'Brien optioned to AAA Reno. .94-mile-an-hour fastball is in for a strike.
They're number 61 on the season for the San Diego Padres. That ties them with the Cincinnati Reds. Only the St. Louis Cardinals, who would ever thunk it, have made more errors in the National League with 64.
Not very Cardinal-esque. Phil fights that off. Little chopper, tough play. They won't get there. Every little break going the Diamondbacks' way so far.
A lot of English on that little chopper on the left side right there. Watch this ball hit the ground and skip away from Perdomo. He had no choice but to let it go and hope his third baseman Solarte could make the play, but that ball stayed down on the ground, allowing Gosselin to reach on the infield hit.
Baron Balsley, the pitching coach, out there to talk to Perdomo as Brandon Drury steps in. Runners in the corners, 2 outs and 2 runs already in. Kind of season it's been for Andy Green, his first as a big league skipper. Brandon Drury just under 270. He's got 8 home runs and a double and an RBI in his start in left field yesterday. He's out there in right field tonight. Castillo at third and Gosselin at first. Ball 1. Boy, that ball that Brandon hit in his first at bat yesterday, Bob, just scorched a double off the wall in left center. First time we've seen him drive one in a while.
Yeah, he's gotten his share of base hits lately, but they haven't been the same kind of base hits we saw in the Cactus League and then throughout the first month or 2 of the season. He really clubbed that one yesterday.
He's ahead 2-0. Brain Trust, Dave Magadan, the hitting coach, Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, Chip Hale, the skipper, Glenn Sherlock, the bench coach.
Got a text from Glenn Sherlock today, said his mother was ecstatic that we mentioned her birthday on the air yesterday.
Good.
She's probably dialed in again tonight.
Here we go again, same spot. It's going to work out just as well. Every little bounce is covered in D-back red.
back-to-back infield hits, nearly identical. Little choppers to the left side. They just get out there in the infield grass and die away from the pitcher Perdomo. No play for Solarte.
Well, Perdomo's got to be thinking, you're kidding me. Well, here's the new dad. Jackson's papa, Nick Ahmed. 230 and 4 home runs. Nick was 0 for 2 in the game Friday against the Giants when he got the call that Amanda was in labor, so he had to leave the ball game. And now he's back for the first of 3 in this series against the Padres. Castillo, the runner at third. Goslin at second and Drury at first. Matt Kemp in right. Diamondbacks leave him loaded, but 4 hits and a Padres error gives it the D-backs a 2-0 lead.
We go to the top of the second. D-backs with a 2-0 lead on this 4th of July. I'm Jody Jackson. Went into the clubhouse today, and shortstop Nick Ahmed was grinning from ear to ear, getting hugs and congratulations from all his teammates. Yes, he and his wife Amanda welcomed a baby boy, Jackson James, on Saturday morning. 7 pounds 9 ounces. And you know, Nick did leave that game Friday night. He said yes, it can be a little hectic. Of course, he's trying to get to the hospital, but everything was fine. Everything went great. Mom and baby are doing very, very well. And guys, you know, he just talked already like a father. He said you just want to raise him right and teach him what you know. And congratulations once again to the Ahmed family.
Absolutely. I'd like to be measured in ounces. I miss those days. Just feel better about the result. You know, and Hervey Solarte leads off the second against Archie Bradley.
I hate to break it to you, but that would be a lot of ounces.
Yeah, probably better off just, I don't know, maybe liters or something. Well, at least you can walk around. Well, I only gained a couple of ounces. Yeah.
Or do your age by months.
2-0. Archie, an 11-pitch first. Got 3 ground ball outs after a Melvin Upton Jr. leadoff single. There's a strike to Solarte. Solarte coming off a 4 for 4 yesterday. Padres were beaten by the Yankees. He homered in that game. His first home run since June 6th. Did he check? Yes, he did. Will Little at third. 3-1. Staying away, away, away. This guy's red hot at the plate right now. That's in there for a strike. Solarte, last 13 games, is hitting better than .420. And in the cleanup spot for Andy Green. Once again, the Padres get the leadoff man on. It was an Upton Jr. single in the first. Now a walk to Solarte opens up the second.
I feel like I'm working at a carnival here, partner. I'm trying to guess your weight. I'm guessing around 200. So 3,200 ounces.
We'll have to call Elias. Alex Dickerson. Only 12 games. He's hitting .217 with 2 home runs. Dickerson homered yesterday in their loss to the Yankees. Get out of here. I'm not giving you my weight in ounces. Go away. No. There you go. Guess the weight right there. That looks how many ounces right there. BB, you're the grandfather of twins now.
Around 8-9 pounds.
There you go. Can we get a scale out there? There's the strike. Archie ahead now, 0-2 on Dickerson. Dickerson was having a big year at AAA El Paso. He was leading the Coast League with a .382 batting average when he got called up. 10 home runs. He knocked in 51 runs in 62 games down there. Solarte back just in time. Padres have some injuries right now. They're without Corey Spangenberg. They're without John Jay. So Ryan Schimpf, the rookie, is playing second base. And Dickerson out there in the outfield. The 0-2. He hit him with an 0-2 pitch. So the first two have reached in the San Diego second.
Yeah, fastball up and in. Dickerson turns away from it, all the while keeping that right arm in the path of the baseball. Fully within the rules, turning away from the ball. But if you notice, that right arm didn't really back off the plate very much.
I think with an 0-2 count, that hurt Bradley more than it hurt Dickerson.
Absolutely.
Because this guy will take you deep every now and again. It's Derek Norris, the catcher. He's homered 10 times.
As the Diamondbacks go about developing a book on Alex Dickerson, that's one thing that you want to put on his page. This guy will turn into pitches off the inside part of the plate, especially in 0-2 counts.
So Archie's put himself in a mess right here. The walk to Solarte. He hits Dickerson, and now he'll deal with Norris. 2 on, nobody out. There's that knuckle curve from Archie Bradley. Steals the strike. It's always one of the keys for Archie, Bob, it seems. Can he keep that curveball down and throw it for strikes when he wants to?
Yeah, a good combination. Throw it for strikes when he wants to and bounce it in the dirt on home plate when he wants to do that.
0-2.
Nothing tricky here. Jumps ahead with the curveball and then fires a fastball. According to Fox Tracks, just off the inside corner, but they get the call from Ted Barrett that time.
And if Ted Barrett says it's a strike, he used to box. It's a strike.
Yeah, Ted Barrett, a local resident here in the Valley, did a really nice thing when the Diamondbacks franchise was first starting. Tom Brenneman and myself on the TV crew and Greg Schulte on the radio crew asked for a meeting, and he came here to the ballpark one day for about 2 or 3 hours, and we talked about rules of the game and things we needed to look for as broadcasters. He couldn't have been more patient and more accommodating, and we really appreciated that.
I remember when Ted Barrett had gotten a World Series assignment and he hadn't done any postseason games. He was going to do the World Series, and it had been 2-3 weeks since he worked a game, so he went into the bullpen during an Arizona Fall League game and just watched guys warm up just so he could keep his eyes sharp. I thought that was very impressive. He was down there with Jim Reynolds
very conscientious
a couple of years ago in the Fall League, just standing behind the bullpen catcher watching pitches. Solarte at second, Dickerson at first. Nobody out. 1-2 on Derek Norris. And Barrett doesn't bite that time.
Tried to go right back to that same spot where they got the called strike earlier in the at bat. Yep. Just a little farther inside.
Just sticking with that same spot against Norris, down and in. got him. First strikeout for Archie Bradley, one away.
And you got traffic on the base. It's always good to get that first out via the strikeout. Keeps the double play in order now with runners at first and second base. And that's a big first out of the inning right there. That's a guy that can hurt you with one swing of the bat.
Well, now he'll work to the second baseman, the left-hand hitting Ryan Schimpf, a 28-year-old rookie, getting his first look at the big leagues. 132 and a home run, 16 career games. Padres a little thin on second baseman right now. Corey Spangenberg has missed most of this year with a left quad injury. And they've also lost Jamal Weeks, Ricky Weeks Jr.'s brother. He's got a right hamstring strain. They want to see what they have here in Schimpf, so Alexi Amarista was just sent down to the minor leagues. They're going to give this guy a look.
He's a versatile guy, can play all over the infield, corner, outfield spots. Having a bang-up year in AAA before his recall. 51 games for El Paso this season. He had 355, 17 doubles, 15 homers, scored 36 runs.
48 RBIs in 51 games. He played at LSU, fifth-round pick by the Blue Jays in 09. And he spent his entire career in their minor league system. Signed as a free agent with the Padres in November. Archie behind 2-0. Naked 3 balls and no strikes.
And we've talked about those guys coming out of that program at LSU. Generally very well schooled, solid fundamental players.
Well, I really want to give him a fair look. Get enough at bats so you have an idea of what you have here. Schimpf is a guy who in the minor leagues always swings for the fences. He's got good power numbers in the minors. So let's see what he does here ahead in the count. There's a strike 3-1. He's had 4 seasons in the minors with at least 20 home runs. And he says, you know, I admit I'm a big swing guy. He's trying to drive the ball every time he's up there.
It works for Dustin Pedroia.
Yeah. He might have an inch or two on Petey at most. Here's the 3-1. Skies it along the left field line. Who's got this one? Phil Gosselin in fair territory. Out number 2. One more big out to get for Archie, the dangerous Alexei Ramirez. .240 and 3 home runs. Longtime Chicago White Sox shortstop, signed a 1-year deal with San Diego. And has been a problem for the Diamondbacks this year, over 300 so far. Solarte at second, Dickerson at first, 2 outs.
Ramirez listed at 6'2", 180 in the Padres media guide. I don't know if I'm buying the weight.
Yeah, he's he won't add up to many ounces, I can tell you that. He's got his skinny going.
You know what Rocky Bridges would have said?
There we go.
You'd stick your tongue out, you'd look like a zipper.
You got to write these down sometime. Has someone written the definitive biography of Rocky Bridges? Because I think you might do it.
It would take hundreds of authors to write the full story of Rocky Bridges.
1-1. Long-time Phoenix Giants skipper. Where else did he manage?
He bounced around a little bit towards the end of his managing career. He ended up with the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. I'm not sure exactly what affiliates he worked at. He was a native of Idaho. He was born and raised in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and once he got into baseball, he lived wherever he worked.
He made quite an impression on you, that's for sure. Check swing foul. Archie gets a break there.
A lot of other guys, and you know, a lot of Diamondbacks fans were fans of the Phoenix Giants back in the day, and they're very familiar with the rivalry we had with the Tucson Toros. And boy, every series was just a circus. We had people parachuting into the ballpark. A woman with a bikini on parachuted into the ballpark down at High Corbett Field in Tucson and gave Rocky a big kiss on the cheek in the third base coach's box. I mean, it was, you never knew what you were going to see.
I think you might be onto something there. Archie put the two leadoff men in this inning on base, a walk and a hit batter, now trying to wiggle his way off the hook. Ahead of Ramirez, 1-2 with 2 outs. Nope, says Ted Barrett. 2-2.
Just pounding away inside on Alexi Ramirez. He's a guy you don't want to make any mistakes up and out over the plate where he can extend those long arms. Archie trying to take those long arms away from him by pounding him inside.
Long set of signs from Wellington Castillo coming inside again here. Got him! Archie Bradley. First 2-man reach. He strands them both and he keeps it. 2-0 Diamondbacks. D-backs fans everywhere leading Padres 2-0 in recognition of this July 4th holiday. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with The Mission Continues, empowering veterans who are adjusting to life at home and finding purpose through community impact. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn more. Archie Bradley made some big pitches when he needed to, got out of a jam there, and he leads off the home half of the second against Luis Perdomo. Oh, 0-2. There's a chopper over the mound. Schimpf comes in from second. 1 away.
Hey fans, a D-backs home run today means a free jumbo jack tomorrow at participating Jack in the Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
Gene Segura singled and scored to lead it off for the Diamondbacks. He's now hit safely in 8 straight games, 11 of his last 12.
Yeah, Gene's now reached base in 16 straight starts. He's had hits in 14 of those starts. The other 2 games he walked twice in one and 4 times in the other.
Well, he makes his living oftentimes by driving the ball to right center field. You can see Melvin Upton Jr. shaded well over near the pool in right center. In there for a strike. 1-2.
Yeah, when Melvin Upton Jr., the center fielder, moves, usually the corner outfielders move with him, and Alex Dickerson has cheated over into that gap in left center quite a bit.
Up the middle, base hit for Segura. He's 2 for 2.
You can see how wide the middle infielders are split apart for the Padres. No chance to get to that one. Just a soft ground ball over the mound, over the bag at second, and into center field for a knock.
Most singles before the All-Star break. Gene Segura creeping up on Tony Womack's record from 16 years ago. One behind Gonzo right now for second on the Diamondbacks all-time list. Here's Michael Bourne, a tapper back to the mound his first time up. Pitch out, nothing doing. Solarte's in at third. They'll always be wary of Michael Bourne trying to bunt for a base hit. He's hit safely in 4 straight.
With another 2-hit night tonight, Gene Segura moves back into a tie for 3rd place in the National League in multi-hit games. Daniel Murphy continues to lead the way in the National League with 35. Carlos Gonzalez with 32, and now Gene Segura and Starling Marte tied at 31.
Yeah, Segura trailing Murphy for the National League hits lead as well. Nationals lost in D.C. on the 4th of July. Brewers beat them 1-0, despite the fact that Milwaukee early in that ball game batted out of order.
What a little lineup snafu.
Oops. Perdomo 30 pitches so far, 21 for strikes. Giants have already won. They're at home now. They beat the Rockies 3-1. Jake Peavy got the win in that ball game. Dodgers hosting the Orioles. LA trails that one 3-0 at Dodger Stadium. 2nd inning. 2-2 on Michael Bourne. Solarte backs up at 3rd, even with a bag now. That pitch misses inside. It's a full count, 3-2. Goldie on deck. He had an RBI double in his first at bat. Segura takes off from first. Bourne strikes out, and Segura's in there. 14th stolen base for Gene Segura. Let's make sure he's okay. He went in there kind of hard. Really had to extend to keep that hand on the bag.
Once again, sliding to the outfield side of the base, forcing Schiff to bring that tag all the way back to the back of the baseline. And Gene a little uncomfortable initially after making that head first slide, but he's up and moving around now.
Oh, he's at second with 2 outs for Goldie. Second strikeout for Perdomo. An RBI double. He scored a run in the first. Bouncer to Solarte at 3rd. Little double clutch. And they retire Goldschmidt to strand Segura at second. We are through 2. D-backs lead the Padres 2-0. Our service men and women around the world, thank you so much on this 4th of July Independence Day. Hey fans, David Ortiz, Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, all of baseball's superstars will come together for the prime time event that's going to line up your summer. It's the MLB All-Star Game from San Diego Petco Park. It's July 12th and it's only on Fox. Hopefully Goldie will be there, Gene Segura, Jake Lamb, all certainly worthy candidates. Luis Perdomo, the Padre pitcher, leads off the 3rd against Archie Bradley. Well, Perdomo, a converted reliever. Don't imagine he's much of a hitter, but he's 3 for 10 so far.
Looks like he takes a pretty healthy hack. Took a rip at that first pitch from Archie Bradley. Operating under that theory, swing hard in case you hit it.
Leadoff man has reached for San Diego in each of the first 2 innings. Upton singled, Solarte walked. And Perdomo skies this one behind the second base bag. Nick Ahmed wants it. 1 away. 4 in a row retired by Archie Bradley.
A lot of times people ask why a team will go after a number 8 hitter with the base open. Why not just pitch to the pitcher? Well, that's exactly why. If you can retire that number 8 hitter in the inning before, you get that pitcher up there to start the inning, and before the Padres can even get anything going, there's 1 out, nobody on base.
Melvin Upton Jr. swung at the first pitch to lead off the ball game and singled into right field. He's having a big year. He has homered 4 times in his last 8 games, including a walk-off home run that beat the Yankees over the weekend at Petco Park. Fastball's in there for strike 2. Upton beat the Diamondbacks with a walk-off homer earlier this season. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. 3rd strikeout for Bradley. Well, after the Upton single to lead off the ball game, Archie Bradley had the ground ball working. He got Myers to hit into a 6-4-3. Then Kemp grounded out to end the 1st.
Yeah, the location was great on both of those pitches. Fastball up and in at the hands to Will Myers to get the double play ball, and then down and in near the knees to get the ground ball off the bat of Matt Kemp.
Will Myers, the National League Player of the Month in June. That's a pretty good month. 327, 11 homers, 33 RBIs in 26 games. There's how they worked him the first time. He grounded out on that pitch. Fastball on the inner half that was a strike. 0-2. Archie throwing strikes here in the 3rd.
Well, when you're the player of the month, it stands to reason you've had a good month. 1st in slugging percentage, 2nd in RBIs, 1st in extra base hits in all of Major League Baseball. Only Edwin Encarnacion had more RBI than Will Myers in the month of June.
Those 11 homers in June broke the Padres record, which had been held by Greg Vaughn, set back in June of '98. He hit a few long ones in his day. But Will Myers, they've been waiting for this for a while. He's finally healthy. He's really been nagged by wrist injuries. A series of wrist problems have bothered him last couple of years. A right wrist fracture, left wrist tendonitis. But as he'll tell you, he hasn't really played a full season since 2013. But this is what he can do when he's healthy. Called strike 3. 4 strikeouts for Archie Bradley. He's retired 6 in a row. He's got a 2-0 lead.
With an early 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom half of the third inning. Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Jake Lamb, who struck out in the first inning, will lead off the third against Luis Perdomo.
Oh, look at that. D-backs right at 3 tacos per game.
Hello. Taking care of business. A little TCB there. Great night to be at the ballpark. Diamondbacks and Padres first of 3. D-backs lead at 2-0. Got 2 in the first. And a big crowd here tonight. More than 39,000. We had 4,500 fans walk up and buy tickets. And if you're not here yet, it's only the third inning. You still got time to get down here. Get yourself a ticket and enjoy our post-game fireworks spectacular as the roof opens up. He rolls that one into the shift. Solarte from the second base spot. That's a 5-3 putout, 1 down.
You know, last half inning, partner, you gave the score from D.C. where the Brewers beat the Nationals today 1-0, and a big tip of the cap to the Brewers. They played a night game in St. Louis last night. Flew all night to get into D.C. to play the early day game today.
Well, now I know why they batted out of order. They were tired.
Geez, they didn't know where they were. Way to go, Counts.
Wellington Castillo. Once again, that Padres infield will leave all kinds of room up the middle. Schimpf at second, a little closer to the bag, but Ramirez back in the grass at shortstop. Anything up the middle is going to get through. Solarte smothers that one in the hole. On Hervey Solarte.
Two steps and a dive to his left right there to take a base hit away from Wellington Castillo.
He's become a really good player. He was a guy the Yankees kind of gave up on, just a utility guy, but he's become the everyday third baseman, and he's batting cleanup tonight. His defense is solid. He's a good guy to have in your ball club. So's Phil Gosselin, single his first time up. Phil doubled, walked, scored a run. He started at second base yesterday against the Giants. 1 for 1 so far tonight. Getting the start in left field. We've seen a consistent mid-90s fastball from Luis Perdomo, and he's also consistently thrown strikes. 40 pitches, 29 strikes.
Maybe too many strikes in that first inning when he gave up 4 base hits and 2 runs. And of course, that's a good approach as an offense. You get a young pitcher on the mound. He's just trying to establish the strike zone in that first inning, so don't let him get comfortable. Attack those early strikes.
They come inside, same spot, same result. Perdomo works a 1-2-3 third. He set down 5 in a row. Happy 4th. It's 2-0 Diamondbacks. Highlights presented by Cox. Archie Bradley looking good, BB's retired 6 in a row, including all 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, really relying on that fastball, just pounding away at the strike zone against these Padres. He's had good command. He's gone inside when he's wanted to go in. He's gone away when he wanted to go away. He's elevated when he needed one up in the strike zone. Really looks good early on.
Matt Kemp, who grounded out to end the first, will lead off the Padre 4th. Diamondbacks overload the left-hand side of the infield. Phil Gosselin was out there attending to something in left field, and now he gives the all clear. He was over there by the bullpen a moment ago. Now Kemp will step out. There's Segura, the second baseman, on the shortstop side of the bag. Kemp fouls it off. Now Phil's got to tie his shoe. What's going on out there with Phil Gosselin in left field? He's a mess. He was, when the inning was about to start, he was talking to a fan or helping them. I think something had fallen onto the field maybe. Now he's got to tie his shoe. And we're set to go. Base hit for Kemp. Rolls it away from the shift. The leadoff single. Second hit for the Padres.
Just kind of fights off an inside fastball that time. Hit it down near the hands, but nobody home with that pull shift on.
Happy 4th. Now in Hervis Solarte. Walked in his first plate appearance tonight. 3-1 on the year with 5 homers. Fastball misses, 1-0. Solarte, a switch hitter. He hits most often from the left-hand side, just like most switch hitters do. That one is hammered and way out of here. It's a 2-2 ball game. On Hervis Solarte. A home run yesterday against the Yankees. He was 4 for 4 so far tonight. A walk and a 2-run homer, his 6th of the year.
You mentioned the home run against the Yankees yesterday came on a very similar pitch, a fastball out over the plate that he gets out and around and pulls it back to right field with authority. That ball went a long way.
Boy, he is on fire right now. 102 miles an hour off the bat. And here's Alex Dickerson. Solarte came into the ball game tonight hitting more than .420 over his last 13 games. So far, a walk and a homer. This is carved the other way. Phil Gosselin coming near the line. Foul ground, and he's got it. Well, Archie's got to put that behind him and get back on track. He had retired 6 in a row before the start of this inning. And now here's the catcher, Derek Norris, who struck out his first time. Not sure Norris, Bob, the previous times we've seen him has been as crouched as he is right now. He looks like he's kind of getting down low, trying to dig his way out of a slump.
Yeah, much like his batting average, hitting .207 coming into the game here today. And you tend to start experimenting with different things when you can't get that average up there where you want it.
Yeah, it's been an absolute slog for Norris for a while now. Up and in. By the time he got to the end of May, Derek Norris was hitting under 180 for the year. But he's been trying to rally since June the 1st. He's hit about 255. Just slowly digging his way out. There's Mark McGwire, the bench coach. That's in there for a strike. 2-2.
The way it goes when you're struggling at the plate. The pitcher just seems to make one perfect pitch after another. Archie just hammering away at the bottom of that strike zone with the 2 called strikes in this at bat.
Down and in is there again. He strikes him out. 5 strikeouts for Bradley. 3 of them have been strikeouts looking.
Yeah, it looks like the Padres are expecting some kind of an off-speed pitch in those 2 strikeouts. Probably the curveball that Archie features, but he's just rearing back and throwing mid-90s fastballs right over the plate.
Ryan Schimpf. The rookie second baseman. Flying out in his first at bat. This is a guy who waited a long time for his big league opportunity. More than 2,500 career games in the minors, 7 years in the Toronto system without even a big league look. But now here he is. 5th round pick out of LSU. This ball's very well hit, but Drury is there in front of the track, and he's got it. But the Padres get the equalizer. A 2-run homer by Solarte has made it 2-2.
Two-run home run in the top half of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It's time to take a look at our legacy moment, brought to you by Geico. On this date in Philadelphia, the Continental Congress adopts the Declaration of Independence, which proclaims the independence of the United States from Great Britain and its king. I don't think there were any games played on that day, but certainly that's why we're all here today.
And of course, also on the 4th of July, a few years later, 50 to be exact, 2 of the great architects of that document, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, passed away within hours of each other.
Oh, I did not know that.
1826. As very well chronicled in the one and only musical I ever watched, 1776.
Oh, there you go.
Starring William Daniels and the White Shadow, the late Ken Howard, as Thomas Jefferson. Who knew that the
White Shadow?
The White Shadow could sing and dance. Brandon Drury leads off the 4th.
Calvin Coolidge, he was destined to be the 30th president of the United States. He was born on the 4th of July.
Perdomo strikes out Drury. That's 4 strikeouts for Luis Perdomo. 1 down in the 4th. Perdomo's done a nice job after a very bumpy first inning. He's now retired 6 in a row, and he's back in the ball game, tied at 2. There you go. Congratulations, Nick and Amanda Ahmed, on the birth of their young son, Jackson James. Nick flied out his first time up. A little tapper that's going to stay fair. Norris is on it, and he makes a nice play to throw out Ahmed. Derek Norris, he's had a very good year defensively.
The swinging bunt worked so well in the first inning for the Diamondbacks. Nick thinks he'll give it a shot, but Derek Norris shows his athleticism, comes out there and bounces on that ball, fires to first for the out.
Yeah, his defensive metrics, blocking pitches in the dirt, all that stuff, he's right among the league leaders. The pitcher Archie Bradley with 2 down. Diamondbacks took a 2-0 lead after 1 inning. Goldie had an RBI double, a run scored on a throwing error by Solarte at third. Padres tied it in the top half of this 4th inning on Hervey Solarte's 2-run home run, his 6th of the year. Oh, hold on there, Luis. 2-2. I thought that was the end of the inning. Didn't get the call from Ted Barrett.
Because it was way out of the strike zone.
Yeah.
And Norris does a nice job of snuggling that one in near the outside corner, but clearly off the plate away.
50 pitches, 36 strikes. Got him that time. 5 strikeouts for Perdomo, who's retired 8 straight Diamondbacks. We're tied at 2 through 4.
Tech Sergeant Armando Marquez here at IUD Air Base, Qatar, vehicle maintenance flight. Just wanted to give a shout out to my family and friends back home, back in Phoenix, Arizona and Tucson, Arizona. Saludos a la familia Marquez y familia Durazo. Los quiero mucho. I'll be home soon. Go Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks baseball on this 4th of July, brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Our thanks to our servicemen and women all over the world, Diamondback fans. For all you do, this one is for you. It's 2-2 as we start the 5th inning. Archie Bradley and Luis Perdomo. Alexei Ramirez, the Padres shortstop, will lead it off.
Yeah, Ramirez doesn't try to bunt for a base hit a lot, but when he does, it's usually leading off an inning. And with that in mind, Jake Lamb creeping in already at third base, even with the bag, backing off just a little bit.
That's a foul ball, says Ted Barrett. Ramirez, like a lot of hitters, not exactly taken to hitting at Petco Park. He was in a great hitter's ballpark in Chicago with the White Sox for a long time, but this year he's been slow to adjust to his new home park. He's hitting .280 on the road, under .210 at home. So a much more dangerous hitter away from Petco this year. 1-1. 8 seasons with the White Sox in Chicago. 34 years old. He'll be 35 in September. And there's the bunt. Archie's on it. Got to hurry. Nicely done. 1 away. That's 4 in a row set down by Bradley since the Solarte homer.
Nice job by Archie to get off the mound, field his position right there.
Pitcher Luis Perdomo.
Luis Perdomo, the pitcher.
And we've talked a lot about the young Diamondback starters and what they could possibly learn from the ace Zach Greinke. And one of the things Zach Greinke does as good as anybody in baseball is field his position.
Check swing. Goldie's there.
If you can help yourself with the bat a little bit, help yourself with the glove, make the plays that you need to make to help your infielders out, get you out of some tough jams, get you out of some big innings.
Melvin Upton Jr. singled to lead off the ball game, struck out his last time up.
It's always kind of fun to watch Melvin Upton Jr. and his batting approach, especially with that front foot. We've seen him do so many different things with that front foot. At one time you could see the bottom of his cleats as he rocked back into a hitting position and would toe tap with the left foot. He's tried to be stationary, just spread out in the box and keep the foot down, just constantly looking for something that's comfortable and productive. It seems like he's found something recently.
He's having a very good year offensively. Boy, when he was in Atlanta, it was something different every at bat with the front foot.
Yeah.
You can see why he struggled so badly, but having a nice year here. Archie Bradley. Archie's got 6 strikeouts. He has now set down 6 in a row. We're tied at 2.
th birthday. I was excited and honored to witness a naturalization ceremony right here at Chase Field. 24 men and women becoming U.S. citizens representing 21 different countries. Now, this is normally in a courtroom or governmental office, but they're doing this in different buildings now, museums, and of course the ballpark. And I was very honored. Honorable Stephen McNamee, a U.S. District Court judge, with the order of admission, and I was able to congratulate them. They got to go on the field here today. So guys, just a terrific day. Of course, it can be maybe the best day of one's life. So we congratulate them. They worked hard to get to this point. Classes on constitutional law, and of course, on this July 4th at the ballpark. What better way to celebrate?
That's what this country's all about. Thank you, Jody. My neighbor just did that.
Really?
Yeah. My neighbor Robin, a Canadian citizen, now a U.S. citizen. We brought her some cupcakes. My wife went over there and brought her first 4th of July cupcakes this morning before the ball game.
And your wife brought us some cupcakes today.
Yeah, you're about due for one.
Yeah,
I think.
pretty soon.
Segura 2 for 2. So went to Cake Teeny, your favorite place here in the Valley. They're good. We'll add a few ounces onto your total. Luis Perdomo has settled in very nicely. He's got 5 strikeouts. He's set down 8 straight Diamondbacks, and he's ahead of Gene Segura. 1-2 to open up the bottom of the 5th. After a very rocky first inning, Diamondbacks got 2 runs on 4 hits in that first inning. Not much sense. Solarte at 3rd. 9 straight he set down, 1 away.
Hey fans, come celebrate Baxter's birthday with all of his mascot friends on Sunday, July 17th as the D-backs take on the Dodgers, presented by PetSmart. The first 5,000 kids to this game will take home the D-backs back to school backpack. Ooh. Courtesy of Smile Generation. Visit dbacks.com. How about that? Baxter's birthday. The mascots all over the place. Definitely want to get the kids out here for that one.
Oh yeah. Oh, and he and his mascot buddies all get together every year. They have a big party. Michael Bourne 0 for 2 so far. Michael's got 13 hits in his last 9 games. Batting in the 2-hole again tonight. Diamondbacks do not have a hit since Gene Segura's 1-out single in the 2nd inning. Bourne ahead 2-1.
I wonder if the mascot from the Colorado Rockies will be able to make Baxter's birthday party on the 17th.
I sent him an invitation. You know, we're buddies now. We made up.
Yeah.
After that last Rockies game, I was too tired to fight with him anymore after 4 games in that ballpark. I put out a picture actually of he who shall go unnamed.
That's right. We ran into him in the tunnel on the way out to the buses on getaway day.
We had a little bit of a breakthrough, I got to say. It's all good now. Dinger and I, we're tight. We're boys with a Z. Up the middle. That one's going to roll into center. Bourne's aboard.
Well, once again, well placed. You can see how wide the middle infielders are split apart. Alexi Ramirez cheating to that hole between 3rd and short. Gives Michael Bourne just enough room to roll that one through into center field.
And it brings up Paul Goldschmidt, an RBI double in the 1st. Grounded out on the first pitch of the at-bat in the 2nd. And here he is in the 5th. Been exactly 50 games since Goldie was hitting .220 for the year. That was back on May the 8th, and there was all the speculation. Oh, what's wrong with Goldie? Is he hurt? What, something bothering him? Well, no. Since then, last 50 games, he's hit .333. Bourne takes off. Bluff changes his mind and just does get back in time. I think that was one of those great Dave McKay jumps where he thinks, well, something must be wrong here, or nope.
Well, that's a couple of good plays right there. Number one by Michael Bourne to realize he didn't have a good enough jump that time to steal the base, so he hit the brakes and got back in. And for Derek Norris, who was coming out of the chute anticipating a throw to second base and then makes the adjustment and fires it down to first instead to make it a close play on Michael Bourne.
Goldie down 0-2. That's about as far off the bag you can get, stop and turn back around.
And get back in safely,
yep.
yeah. Nearly past the point of no return there.
Michael Bourne and Dave McKay coaching at first.
Talking about Goldie earlier this season, though, it's his own darn fault. You know, he set the bar so high with his performance offensively from a month-to-month, week-to-week, day-to-day basis that when he struggles at all, it completely catches you by surprise. It's just something you're not used to seeing.
It was the uncertainty that he showed at the plate. You know, sort of not quite ready to pull the trigger on some pitches.
Some check swings on balls that he would normally be very aggressive on. Took some called strikes on pitches that he would normally come out of his shoes swinging at.
Everybody would ask Chip almost every day, what's wrong with Goldie? What's wrong with Goldie? And he would say once he got it turned around, well, he's really started laying off the pitches that he can't put into play, and he's driving the pitches that he can do something with. Before, he might foul them off. He might take some strikes. But that got fixed about the second week of May. There's that old expression, let the game come to you. It's a trite and it's a cliche, but it seems to apply in this case with Goldie.
And it certainly would just be human nature for him to try to do a little more with David Peralta injured and A.J. Pollock missing at the beginning of the season. And Goldie, he's well aware of his importance to this team and this organization. Probably tried to do a little bit too much, but now that he's settled in and just doing what he's capable of doing, that's plenty good enough.
Dave Magadan, the hitting coach, on the right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Goldie gets this up in the air. Playable for Upton Jr. 2 outs. There's Jake Lamb, so far 0 for 2. Jake has struck out, grounded out. The Lambino. There are all kinds of suggestions coming in. The great Lambino, a Lamb Slam. Those seems to be the leaders in the clubhouse right now. Lambino is not terrible.
He's got little legs to it.
Yeah. He's been hitting like the Bambino as of late. A home run in 4 of his last 5 games. Leading the National League in slugging. Bourne at first, 2 outs. And there's a strike, 0-1. Last 16 games, Jake 390, 3 doubles, 3 triples, and 7 home runs. He's got 18 RBIs in his last 16 games. Some people, BB, are going to look at the stat columns as they probably do every day and wow, Jake Lamb in Arizona, you see what he's done lately. He's going to get on some people's radars here nationally.
Yeah, rightfully so. It seems like you always have to do a little more for a little longer than teams that play on the East Coast to get recognized.
Padres have the shift on. I mean, look at Schimpf out there. He's the second baseman. That's as deep as I can remember seeing any second baseman play in one of these left-hand shifts. He is way back there.
That reminds me of the shift we used to put on for Barry Bonds back in the day. You know, Barry, if he hit the ball on the ground, he wasn't going to run hard anyway, so why play your second baseman in the infield? Put him out there in right field. You're still going to have plenty of opportunity to throw out a guy like Barry who never really ran hard.
0-2 on Jake Lamb. He hits it right out of it over his head, and we'll see how fast Bourne can run. Matt Williams waving him home. It rolls all the way to the wall. And here comes the Lambino with an RBI triple. Stay hot, Jake Lamb.
Almost got stymied by that shift. He pulls that ball hard, a slider working its way down over the heart of the plate. He rips it into right just past the second baseman who was out there in medium depth right field. Once it got by him, it's going all the way to the corner for extra bases. Jake in with an RBI triple.
His 6th triple this year and his 4th triple in 17 games. 3-2 Diamondbacks. And here's Wellington Castillo. Can he get Lamb home from third with 2 outs? Perdomo knocks him off the plate. 1-0.
44th extra base hit of the season, the most in the National League for Jake Lamb.
That's how you lead the league in slugging, I'm sure. 1-1. He might catch up to Big Papi at this rate. Start leading the majors.
It's been pointed out that that line drive to right field was lambasted.
Not bad. The increasingly reliable staff stepping up once again. Check swing as a ball. 2-1. Well, Wellington's been coming around with a bat as well. He's hitting better than .330 since June the 7th. Home runs Friday and Saturday against the Giants. He's ahead, 3 balls and a strike. Bill Gosselin on deck.
We were told about that wicked movement on the 2-seam fastball from Perdomo at 95. He's just really having a lot of trouble keeping it in the strike zone right now.
He'd retired 9 in a row before Bourne single, the 1 out in this inning. Full count, 3-2. At shortstop. Low throw, but Myers has it. Jake Lamb's RBI triple has given the Diamondbacks a 3-2 lead. The lovely Mike and Vanessa, as always, are with us here in the booth. Fans, you've got to add these D-backs sombreros to your collection. It's the first of its kind, and we're giving them out to the first 20,000 fans at the ball game on Saturday, July 16th. Get your tickets at dbacks.com. Then after the ball game, there's a big concert.
Yeah, post-game concert with Arizona's very own Luis Coronel.
Now, will you and Mike be performing at all?
I mean, we might dance with our sombreros, but I don't know if we should perform.
What's the name of the magician where the one guy doesn't talk? Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller.
Yeah, you guys are like Penn and Teller now. Is that the way we're going to go with this thing?
He just shakes his head.
Well, this is working out well.
He's never been better. This is our best segment yet.
Yes, and I also picked this up for Mike at the team shop. What do you think? This patriotic
nice.
tank top?
Very nice.
I'm a little disappointed he's not wearing it right now, in fact.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm not wearing it.
Did you guys get to do anything on the 4th? A little cookout? BB had a big barbecue with steaks and everything.
Oh, I worked all day.
I just sat at home and watched movies on the couch. It was fantastic.
It's a great American tradition. You worked all day.
Yeah, I worked radio, my day job, and then this game.
I see that on Twitter. Now, tell the folks all the time what you're doing, because I see you tweeting out pictures from the radio station all the time.
Yeah, I'm on midday at Mega 104.3 from 11 to 2, and then I come to the D-backs games in the evening.
BB, she's multimedia.
We call that double dipping.
Yes.
Yes, hustling, making money.
Well, nice job, guys.
Good for you.
You guys look good in the sombreros. Mike, put that on probably in your own time at home.
Yeah.
Happy 4th of July.
Thank you, guys. 2-0 on Will Myers as we lead off the 6th. The lovely Mike and Vanessa. That one almost got away from Archie, and it's 3-0. Myers so far National League Player of the Month in June, but today he's hit into a double play and struck out. He walked him. Lead-off walk. Second walk of the ball game issued by Archie Bradley.
Yeah, this is not meant to take anything at all away from Will Myers, who's had a fantastic month of June. But I looked at the Padres schedule.
Yeah.
They had 3 road trips during the month of June. 3 games in Colorado. 4 games in Cincinnati. And 2 in Baltimore.
Not bad hitters parks.
3 of the best hitting parks in all of baseball. So he took advantage of the schedule.
That's what you got to do. Matt Kemp singled and scored his last time up. Came in on a Solarte homer that tied it 2-2. Diamondbacks have taken a 3-2 lead on Jake Lamb's RBI triple.
We just keep crowding Matt Kemp. He's having trouble getting the barrel of the bat on that low to mid-90s fastball from Archie Bradley.
Well, you mentioned hitters parks, and Matt Kemp is not in a good hitters park, Petco Park. He's hitting more than 50 points better on the road this year, which is where he's hit 10 of his 16 home runs. So he's a much more dangerous hitter here at Chase Field than he is in San Diego. But then again, most guys are.
Yeah, just ask Reno Aces skipper
Phil Nevin
or Ryan Klesko, some of the guys that were there when Petco Park opened, and immediately said, this place is not good.
The fences are a little deeper. There's great video of Ryan Klesko hitting what he thought was a sure home run, and only to have it die about 10 feet in front of the warning track and just have this disgusted, are you kidding me, look on his face as he walked back to the dugout.
Gumby shoulders. You hit a ball you think is going to leave the park, and your chest kind of inflates. You're ready to go into your home run trot, and then the ball dies 10 feet short of the warning track, and your shoulders drop and your head drops and you mope your way back to the dugout.
Well, we'll see how they do in the home run derby, and of course the All-Star game coming up at Petco Park, San Diego. That's July 12th, only on Fox. I heard they were going to have guys hit off a battleship or something.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the minor league All-Star home run derby. Was supposed to be off the deck of a battleship or an aircraft carrier or something.
Well, this one is headed for the gap in deep left center field, and it bounces off the wall. That leadoff walk is going to come back and bite Archie Bradley as Kemp ties it at 3 with an RBI double.
Well, it was inside, but not far enough. That ball stays on the plate on the inside corner, and Kemp speeds up his swing just a little bit to get the barrel on it and finds that gap in left center field.
I told you he was a better hitter on the road, and there it is. He's 2 for 3, a single and a double, and it's a 3-3 ball game. Glenn Sherlock on the phone. We're looking at some aspect of this play.
Baseman Jan Hervis Solarte.
Possibly seeing if that was a ground rule double or a book rule double rather, and that would send the runner back to third base.
But Solarte is in the batter's box. He homered in his last at bat. That tied at 2-2. Now it's 3-3. This was Solarte, and this was not a cheapie in the fourth. His second home run in as many games. About halfway up the seats in right field. Yangervis Solarte. That was his 6th of the year in his second in 2 games. Now with 3:06 on the season. Archie quickly in a mess here. A run is in. He's got Kemp at second. Nobody out.
Watch Archie Bradley and Wellington Castillo react. Oh man, Archie knows where that's headed. Wellington just kind of puts his head down behind the plate. You know from the sound.
Well, Archie in that 4th inning gave up a Kemp single to lead it off. Then Solarte homered. Now here in the 6th, he walked Myers to lead it off, and Kemp doubled him home.
You mentioned earlier Solarte, kind of an under the radar good player, and he's been really good here at Chase Field. His last 3 games plus tonight, he's 5 for 13 with 3 homers, 7 driven in.
And leadoff man has been a problem for Archie Bradley. Padres leadoff man has reached base safely in 4 of the first 6 innings. 2 of them have scored. Ahead of Solarte, 1-2.
That home run that Solarte hit back in the 4th inning went 440 feet.
I believe it. That was smoked. This is a guy that was battling for a long time last month. A nasty bruise on his left thumb. It was all swollen up. He got jammed on a pitch. But the hand's feeling a whole lot better right now. Two and two. Solarte was injured almost immediately once the season began. He played only 5 games and then suffered a right hamstring strain. Kept him out for nearly 40 games. Finally came back on May 21st, and he's been their primary third baseman.
Archie's been really good in this situation over his last 3 starts, plus this evening with runners in scoring position. Opposing hitters are only 1 for 24. He struck out 8 batters in that particular situation.
Still trying to get that first out in the 6th. Randall Delgado has started throwing in the Diamondback bullpen. At Kemp at second. Nobody out. 2-2 on Yangervis Solarte. On the ground to second for Segura. Kemp into third. 1 away. The Sanderson Ford bullpen. Randall Delgado was throwing a moment ago. Looks like he's ready now. The discussion over there with Garvin Alton. There is the waving of the hat, universal sign for he's ready. The one sign in baseball you don't have to worry about anyone stealing. In fact, you want them to see it. Alex Dickerson hit by a pitch and flat out 0 for 1. From high above the Diamondback bullpen, Randall Delgado, the right-hander. Big crowd here tonight, nearly 40,000 with us on this 4th of July. And what's been a good ball game, 3-3 in the 6th inning. Post-game fireworks spectacular coming up after the ball game. We'll open up the roof. Archie now with 85 pitches, 52 strikes. Fastball missed away, and Dickerson's ahead 2-1. Now it's up to Bradley to strand Kemp at third, keep this a tie ball game. That's a good start. He was in a real mess, Archie Bradley, in the 2nd. He walked Solarte to lead off that inning, then hit Dickerson. He had 1st and 2nd, nobody out, but got 2 strikeouts and a fly ball. And was out of trouble. numbers that this guy has put up in the Coast League. He was Pacific Coast League Rookie of the Year last year at El Paso. 36 doubles, 12 homers. He was leading the league with a .382 batting average this year when he was called up.
382 is 382. I don't care what league it is.
Exactly. Pull that one, and it's a full count, 3-2. 382, 10 home runs, 51 RBIs in 62 games with El Paso. Just recall last Tuesday they lost John Jay. Goldie backhands the short hop, looks Kemp back, steps on the bag. A big out, number 2 for Bradley.
Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. A day after every Diamondbacks win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
How big a thing is it, Bob, when you're trying to develop a young pitcher like Archie Bradley? And Archie has been around so long and carries himself so well. We forget he's only 23 years old, but how big is it over the course of his development to get these big outs? You've got a guy on third who's the go-ahead run. He's been getting some big outs in big spots.
Well, ask that guy how important it is. I mean, that's what separates the middle or bottom of the rotation starters from the guys that work their way up to the top of the rotation. When they get in trouble, that's when they're able to make their best pitches.
He's made a couple of mistakes and it's cost him, but for the most part he's made those big pitches when he's really needed them to limit the damage. Missed with that curveball, and he's behind 2-0. That guy knows a thing or two about that. Right now on the DL, Zach Greinke. I like that. He's got Robbie Ray on one side and Patrick Corbin on the other.
Two very attentive students right there.
You better believe it. They're probably talking about hot dogs or fireworks or something.
Believe it or not, all the conversations that take place in that dugout aren't baseball related.
Come on. Archie behind on Norris, 3-0. A rookie second baseman Ryan Schimpf is on deck. We'll see if he gets anything to hit here. And he does. And he does not miss it. Derek Norris, his 11th home run, and it's 5-3.
It's a case of Archie perhaps going to the well once too often. We talked about the way they were crowding Matt Kemp, trying to stay inside, take away some of the sting from his bat. Doing the same thing to Derek Norris. Look at the location of this pitch. That's off the plate inside farther than the first 3 pitches, and he hits it out of the ballpark.
But you've got a rookie second baseman on deck. Why even give this guy anything to hit at all?
Well, I think that's what he thought he was doing. Throwing that fastball probably a good 6 inches off the inside part of the plate.
Here comes Mike Butcher. Now a 5-3 ball game. Solarte, a 2-run homer to tie it in the 4th. Now Norris, a 2-run homer in the 6th to make it a 5-3 game after Kemp's double had tied it up. Delgado continues to throw in the Diamondback bullpen, with Archie approaching 100 pitches. Well, you kind of get the feeling he's 3 or 4 pitches away from working on a shutout here.
Yeah.
Laboring in the 6th. He needed 25 pitches in the 2nd to get out of trouble after he put the first 2 on. Did a very good job there. But he walked Myers to lead off the inning. Kemp doubled him home to tie the ball game. Got the next 2, but Norris's homers made it 5-3, and here's Schimpf. Hit. Michael Bourne's going to have to hustle and cut that off over there. Schimpf sees it and he heads for second, a hustle double. Third extra base hit in this inning for the Padres against Archie Bradley.
Shortstop, Alexi Ramirez.
And waited nicely on that breaking ball out over the plate. Top spin line drive up the middle. Michael Bourne was shaded way over into the gap in left center. Now they're going to intentionally walk Alexi Ramirez and go after Luis Perdomo, the pitcher.
Ramirez and Perdomo both 0 for 2. Well, Archie had pitched a terrific ball game through 5. Really, the only mistake he made was a cookie to Solarte for a 2-run homer, but it's been a rocky 6th. A walk, a double, a home run, a double, another walk intentional, and now here comes the pitcher Perdomo.
Pitcher, Luis Perdomo.
You've got Schimpf at second, Ramirez at first. 2 outs and 3 runs in. He doesn't hit a lot.
There's a knee buckler right there. A bad curveball that stayed off the plate inside. Perdomo was evacuating the area.
There's a fastball first strike, 1-1. Pitcher spot due up 4th in the Diamondback half of this inning. Fastball in there for a strike again, and it's 1-2. And he got him. But Matt Kemp's double ties it. Derek Norris's homer makes it a 5-3 San Diego lead. Brought to you by T-Mobile. A look around the rest of the National League West. Giants have already won. They beat the Rockies 3-1 at AT&T Park. The Dodgers trailing the Orioles 5-4, and then later in the 5th inning they had this happen. 2 Eagles on this 4th of July Independence Day being handled by a handler. Now they fly around before the ball game. They had this whole ceremonial thing planned, but then One of the Eagles, BB, decided to take off and run for it, or in this case, fly for it. And there he goes.
See you later.
And in the words of Dodgers radio man Charlie Steiner, follow me to freedom. And he was gone.
It just proves that bald eagles are very intelligent creatures.
Bill Gosselin leads off the 6th.
Now, in a perfect world,
yeah,
when the roof opens up after the Diamondbacks win for the fireworks show,
he flies in.
The eagle flies in.
I like that.
Great.
Solarte throws out Gosselin, 1 down. Might look a little something like that.
Right field,
Brandon Drury getting the start tonight in right field. He has singled and struck out, 1 for 2. D-backs have out hit the Padres 7-6, but they trail at 5-3. Remember, we were in St. Louis a few years ago, and they had one of those Eagle guys down on the field. All the Diamondback players during batting practice, they were practicing because they always have them fly around and I guess let him get used to the ballpark. Off the glove of Perdomo, Ramirez is there, and they retire Drury. And all the D-backs players were gathered around. Guys got to put the glove on and kind of hold the Eagle. It's really cool. That scored 163, by the way, on the putout since it hit Perdomo's glove. Here's Nick Ahmed. Nick 0 for 2. He has flied out and grounded out. Back from paternity leave. Peter O'Brien was optioned to AAA Reno today. Make room for Nick Ahmed on the roster. Pitcher spot is due up next for the Diamondbacks. There's action in the bullpen. And it looks like Chris Herman coming out in the on-deck circle. Randall Delgado still throwing down there. Nick gives it a ride down the left field line. Can it stay fair? Just missed it. That would have been a home run for Jackson James.
Yeah, baby needs new shoes. It's off the plate inside. Nick got it down near the label of the bat a little bit, but hit it a long way down that left field line.
0-2. That's going to drop in. A base hit for Nick Ahmed. A 2-out single, and now we'll get a look at Chris Herman, who'll hit for the pitcher. Nick now with 10 hits in his last 9 games. And here's Herman hitting for Archie Bradley. Chris 291 and 6 homers. And 3 hits in the Giants series, including an RBI double. He's been battling that tight hamstring. So he's coming off the bench here tonight.
And take your shot where you can. If you're Chip Hale, the only left-handed bat available off the bench is Chris Herman, and Andy Green has 3 left-handed pitchers out of the bullpen. So take a shot right here. Nobody warming up. No chance of getting a lefty on Chris Herman in this situation.
They will put the shift on. You can see once again Schimpf, the second baseman, up in the corner of your screen there, halfway out to right field. And Ramirez, the shortstop, will guard the bag at third. They have guys all over the place here. Of course, this is what Andy Green used to do when he was with the Diamondbacks. He was the third base coach, and he would be responsible for the positioning of the infield defense. So he is at the forefront of all this shifting in the metrics and stuff. Andy's a big proponent of that. Worked very closely here with Dr. Ed Lewis. So this is a pretty creative look. The 1-0 to Herman. Now Ramirez will go over toward the second base bag as Chris swings and misses that side. Now they're going to move guys around again.
they're just going to converse out there in the middle infield.
Ramirez a moment ago was about 5 feet away from the third base bag on the first pitch. And now with a 1-1 count, he's basically where the shortstop would be normally.
And Melvin Upton Jr. in center field is shaded way over to the gap in left center. Matt Kemp playing well off the line in right field. And this is not the way Abner drew it up.
If Chris can somehow shoot it down the left field line, he's got a good chance to bring Nick in from first with 2 outs. All kinds of room on the left-hand side.
And the gap in right center out there. Hit one right at that 413 mark out near the RamTrucks.com pool area.
Well, Nick will be able to walk home. Hitters count here for Chris Herman. 2 balls and a strike. Ahmed at first, 2 outs. He hits it right at Ramirez. And that ends the threat. On this Independence Day, USAA honors those who have served and all of our service members at home and abroad. Big crowd today at the Phoenix Children's Hospital Sandlot area here at the ballpark at Chase Field. And hey, D-backs fans, introducing Pepsi Moji. Every time they grab an ice cold Pepsi 20-ounce bottle this summer, you'll find a Pepsi Moji on the side of the bottle. There are hundreds of different designs, so show the world how you feel and what you love with Pepsi Moji using hashtag #SayItWithPepsi. One of the most popular areas of the ballpark. Your Arizona Federal Credit Union pitching change as we start the 7th inning. It's Randall Delgado. 35 appearances. He's worked 43 innings, a 3.56 ERA. Melvin Upton Jr., the leadoff man, leads off the San Diego 7th. He has singled and struck out twice, 1 for 3. Randall pitched 2 innings in Friday's series opener against San Francisco, gave up a home run. In fact, he has surrendered a homer in each of his last 2 appearances, both in long relief. Padres have already homered twice tonight. Solarte in the 4th and Norris in the 6th. Both 2-run homers. There's a strike, 1-1.
Now for Norris, that was his 11th home run of the season, only 3 behind his career high set last year when he hit 14. Been kind of a typical Derek Norris night tonight, the way his season's gone. 2 strikeouts and a home run. Waves at that one. Fastball from Delgado is in there for strike 2. Upton has homered 4 times in his last 8 games. Homer to beat the Yankees this weekend at Petco Park.
Full count, 3-2. He's already got Melvin Upton Jr. 3 walk-off home runs this year. He's the first Padres player ever to do that, and we're not even at the All-Star break. Will Myers on deck, Matt Kemp in the hole. One of those homers, a walk-off, beat the D-backs earlier this year. That's going to get out of play.
It's unusual just to have that many opportunities to hit a walk-off home run.
Yeah.
Let alone come through.
3 times. It's a pretty colorful compression sleeve he's got on there. Stars and stripes.
It's nice.
In keeping with the theme.
Very patriotic.
Yeah. All the major league teams all over baseball wearing Independence Day uniforms. Oh, Upton Jr. strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. 1 down in the 7th.
Change up from Randall Delgado. It's known to be a power pitcher around the game, but has a tremendous straight changeup as his best secondary pitch.
Well, Myers so far has hit into a double play, struck out, walked, and scored a run. He's 0 for 2. There's 19 homers and 57 RBIs for Myers, already career highs. He leads the Padres in both those categories this year. Having a tremendous season. There's a strike 0-1. I notice Will Myers, little change at the plate. Alan Zinter is the hitting coach. They've given him just a little bit of a leg kick. It's something new, and it's really worked out. He was player of the month in June, as we mentioned, but it's a new twist for him up there, a little timing thing. It's very subtle. He saw it right there. He didn't used to do that before.
It's all about timing. You know, as long as you do the leg kick and get your foot back down quickly enough so that you're balanced and ready to pull the trigger if the pitch is in the strike zone, it's absolutely fine as a timing mechanism.
There it is right there, up and down. Sliders in there for a strike. There's Zinter, the hitting coach. Some guys that can kind of hurt more than help, I would think. Sometimes you start thinking about that up there.
Especially against some of the pitchers we see in baseball now. Johnny Cueto jumps to mind immediately. Tyler Clippard has started to go to the quick pitch, the LaTroy Hawkins quick pitch.
There's that front foot off the ground.
You get a guy that takes a big leg kick with that front side, and he's susceptible to that quick pitch. It's all about timing, and as long as the pitcher stays in a rhythm out there with his delivery, it's absolutely fine for a hitter with a leg kick. But when that pitcher speeds up his delivery, slows down his delivery, that throws the entire timing of the at bat off.
You know who I just realized that Will Myers reminds me of? Hunter Pence. You know how, and you're always talking about this, how the pitcher should come set and hold the ball for a long time, because Hunter Pence is so wound up tight like a coiled spring. Myers is the same way, man. Look at him flex and strain up there, waiting for that ball to be delivered. Right there.
Yeah. If you can make a hitter do that for 8 or 10 seconds, inevitably your forearms and wrists are going to start to tighten up, making it tougher to take a fluid swing at the ball.
Yeah, he's a no batting glove guy too. That can't help. Three and two. Nick Ahmed.
Hey fans, follow Arizona Diamondbacks baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Well, Matt Kemp's been a problem tonight. A single, an RBI double. He scored 2 runs. In fact, he's 2 for 3. Once again, they'll overload the left-hand side against Kemp.
And we saw Archie Bradley try to pound Matt Kemp inside. Just fastball after fastball off that inside corner of the plate. See how Randall Delgado attacks with his arsenal.
Goes away there with a fastball and gets a strike.
Fastball away.
Missed with it, 1-1.
That's good. If you're going to miss out there. A lot of times when a guy tries to hit the outside corner with a fastball, it tails back over the meat of the plate, and that's when Matt Kemp can do some serious damage. So if you're going to miss a fastball away, miss farther away. Try it again.
He, last time up, just blasted a double to the gap in left center field, rolled all the way to the 413 mark out there. Scored Will Myers all the way from first after Myers had walked to lead off the inning.
Another fastball away. Shook off the slider.
This is hit out to Phil Gosselin, and he's got it. It nearly went over his head. Well, we're glad you're with us on this 4th of July Independence Day. A big crowd on hand, about 40,000 here at Chase Field. And on this 4th of July holiday, we pause to honor America.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask that you please rise and sing along as we pay tribute to our great nation with the singing of God Bless America.
Padres by 2. Hey fans, we invite you to participate in Gila River game nights by signing up at one of the interactive kiosks located right here at Chase Field during any Diamondbacks regular season home game.
Bottom 7, D-backs trail the Padres 5-3. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly, and Jody Jackson with you. Happy Independence Day, Diamondback fans all over the world. Luis Perdomo back out there to start the 7th at 87 pitches. That one misses inside. There is action in the Padre bullpen. The left-hander Brad Hand is warming up. You've got lefties Bourne in the 2-hole, Lamb in the cleanup spot on the way.
Well, Perdomo has done tonight what Archie Bradley did against the Phillies. He struggled in that first inning, gave up a couple of runs on 4 hits, had 5 base runners in the first inning, but since then he's been a tough customer.
That one's going to leak near the seats and get out of play. Luis Perdomo has done a good job. Here's Mr. Hand. If I'm here and you're here, isn't this our time?
Our time.
Perdomo had a very bumpy first inning. Daniel Hudson warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. Gave up 2 runs, 4 hits in that first inning, but the Diamondbacks haven't had much sense other than Jake Lamb's RBI triple in the 5th. 90 pitches, 65 strikes. Segura, base hit. That's his 3rd hit tonight. Leadoff man aboard. Gene Segura now with 11 games this season in which he's had at least 3 hits. Wow. He had 12 all of last season with Milwaukee. Here's Andy Green. He's got a left-hander ready in Brad Hand, and Bourne is at the plates, representing the tying run with nobody out. Luis Perdomo pitched a very good ball game here tonight. He leaves leading 5-3. Brad Hand coming in back after this. Now a spectator as Andy Green goes to his bullpen for the left-hander Brad Hand on to face Michael Bourne after Segura's single to lead off the 7th.
Hand's been pretty good for Andy Green this year. He's allowed only a .213 average to opponents this season. 54 strikeouts in 45 1/3 innings.
The right-hander Jose Dominguez has started warming up in the Padre bullpen as well. You've got Goldie on deck and left hand hitting Jake Lamb behind him. Bourne singled and scored his last time up, 1 for 3. Solarte in on the grass at 3rd. There's ball 1. How Michael Bourne does with his platoon splits. He's got backwards platoon splits. He's hitting nearly .320 versus left-hand pitching this year.
Yeah, he's 3 for 10 lifetime against Hand with a triple the last time he faced him.
Big hole on that right side of the Padre infield. That's fouled back. 1-1. And Myers holding Segura on the bag at first. Schimpf trying to stay within reaching distance of second base, so there's room over there if he can roll it into right field. Maybe send Segura all the way to third. That's why Chip Hill really likes having a left-hand hitter in the 2-hole for that reason. He knocks it the other way, just as effective. A pair of singles open up the Diamondbacks 7th, and here comes Goldie.
Michael hangs in there so well against left-handed breaking pitches. Let that ball get really deep in the hitting zone and just slap it to the opposite field. Back-to-back base hits to start the 7th.
Well, he's got the lefty out there now with Lamb on deck, but you got to get through Goldie first. And a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. We'll see what Andy Green does right here. Goldie an RBI double in the first. He's 1 for 3. And it'll be Hand and Goldschmidt. 2 on, nobody out. 5-3 ball game. Fly ball, right field corner. He just missed it. Noonan.
Just a little too much slice on that one. Goldie went down to get it and just into foul territory down that right field line.
Tell you what, we've seen the other team have those drop-in fair throughout this entire homestand, it seems like. Shelby Miller had a whole bunch of those drop-in fair against him the other night. It's allowed, strike 1.
I'm a little surprised that Hand is still in the ball game to face Goldie.
Yeah.
Only because Andy Green has 3 lefties in the bullpen. I guarantee you Bruce Bochy, if he were managing this ball club with 3 left-handed relievers in that bullpen, we would see a right-handed pitcher for Paul Goldschmidt and another lefty to face Jake Lamb.
He's hitting over 370 versus left-hand pitchers this year.
Been even better than that recently. 14 for his last 23 with 2 homers and 3 doubles against lefties. Andy Green knows his team a lot better than I do, but you know, just looking at the bullpen usage, Ryan Buchter, one of the other lefties, didn't pitch yesterday. He last threw on Saturday. Brad Hand did throw yesterday 10 pitches, or rather on Saturday 10 pitches.
He's got another lefty who just started warming up in the bullpen right now. The 1-1 to Goldie.
Matt Thornton hadn't pitched for 2 days out of the bullpen. One of their other lefties.
There's Buchter, the guy you just mentioned. Ryan Buchter, the left-hander on the left-hand side there. Jose Dominguez, the right-hander on the right. Hitters count here, 2 balls and a strike. Segura's at second, Bourne at first, nobody out. '95 got it by him, 2-2. Waiting for that big swing. Fastball is in there for strike 3. Well, Andy Green knew what he was doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Brad Hand is not your average soft tossing lefty. That last fastball at 96 at the knees on the inside corner.
And now he's got the lefty still in there against the left-hand hitting Jake Lamb, who had an RBI triple his last time up. Jake 1 for 3 tonight. He's hit safely in 6 straight. A home run in 4 of his last 5. Since May 25th, hitting over 300 versus left-hand pitchers with 8 runs knocked in. He is the go-ahead run at the plate with 1 out in the 7th. Singles by Segura, and Bourne led off the inning. Goldie struck out for out number 1. Now it's 0-1 on Jake Lamb. Good block by Derek Norris. He has excelled in that area back there this year for the Padres.
Good anticipation, knew a breaking ball was coming. There's a chance it's going to end up in the dirt. Got himself into a good position right there. Made it a relatively easy block on a pitch that's not easy to block.
1-1. .95 right by him. A ball and 2 strikes.
He's here hoping Jake can get a hold of one and hit it out of the ballpark. He's got 29 career home runs. 3 of those have tied up a game. 10 have given the Diamondbacks a lead. 13 of his 29 have either tied it up or given the D-backs a lead.
He has had a flair for the dramatic. Certainly did yesterday against the Giants. A 2-run homer in the 8th inning that tied the ball game. A 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Castillo on deck. Fortunately, Norris can't hang on. Jake stays alive.
All around that catcher's mitt and then dropped harmlessly to the ground.
Is that just luck for the catcher?
Absolutely. I mean, you're sitting less than a foot behind the contact point. No chance to make any kind of an adjustment on a foul ball like that. You just hope it hits in a part of the glove where it'll stay.
So a second life for Jake on 2-2. Here go the runners. That's a ball, and they're in there. Second stolen base tonight for Segura, his 15th of the year, and Michael Bourne swipes his 7th.
Derek Norris does everything he can. He just kind of falls out of his crouch, fires to third base right on the money, but Gene Segura had a tremendous jump at second. Michael Bourne followed him.
A single will tie the ball game. Full count on Jake Lamb, 3-2. Got him. Two big strikeouts looking for Brad Hand. Wow, 6 was a ball, but 7 was a strike. Here comes Andy Green. He's had a right-hander Dominguez warming up at the bullpen. He's going to bring him in here to face Wellington Castillo. Well, Hand came on after Segura singled. Bourne went the other way to put 2 on, nobody out, but he struck out the Diamondbacks' 2 best hitters. And here comes Castillo, 2 on and 2 out. runs in scoring position and 2 outs. He'll face the right-hander Jose Dominguez, who made his Padre debut yesterday. He worked 2/3 of an inning against the Yankees. He was down at AAA El Paso this year, where he converted 6 of 8 save opportunities, so he's used to pitching in big spots, and this is a pretty big one right here.
I'd venture a guess that he never pitched in front of a crowd like this down in El Paso.
The Chihuahuas don't get 40,000.
You know, they don't have the second and third deck on the ballpark.
So here you go. Segura is at third. Bourne is at second. He's the tying run. 2 outs, and it's Wellington Castillo, who so far is 0 for 3. But he's been a big bat lately in these situations. 3 for his last 5. With runners in scoring position, including a couple of home runs. Cannot leave these runners out there. That's happened far too often lately for the Diamondbacks. A couple of leadoff singles, got to take advantage, down 2.
As you saw, Dominguez only 2/3 of an inning for the Padres so far this year at the major league level. All fastballs.
That's going to get out of play. 1-1. Wellington since June the 7th hitting over .330. Homered twice in the series against the Giants over the weekend.
Turned into a real offensive position for the Diamondbacks, with Castillo and Herman both having big offensive years.
Lays off the fastball away at 96, and he's ahead 2 balls and 1 strike.
The Diamondbacks as a catching core ranked first in the National League in homers with 16, first in the National League with 55 RBI, and 97 hits, the most by any catching tandem in the National League.
Cell phone lights are flickering. 2-1 on Beef Wellington. 97 fouled back, and it's 2-2. Looking for that big hit. Great crowd here on this Independence Day 4th of July. About 40,000 with us. Post-game fireworks after the ball game. 2 on, 2 outs, 2 balls, and 2 strikes. Fly ball center field. Upton Jr. backs up, and he's got it. A pair of leadoff singles, down 2, go stranded, and it stays 5-3 Padres. Independence Day 4th of July. Young and old with us. Diamondbacks trail it. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink. Zach Godley on the mound tomorrow night against left-hander Christian Friedrich. Godley taking the rotation spot of the injured Zach Greinke, who's on the DL. So Zach Godley will go tomorrow night. That's a 6:40 first pitch. Diamondback Live pregame show on Fox Sports Arizona. Comes your way at 6 o'clock. And then Wednesday, it's Shelby Miller in the series finale. Daniel Hudson, the new pitcher here, his 36th appearance, a 3.69 ERA. He worked yesterday against the Giants, a strong 1.238. Already getting set to go on the bereavement list, I believe starting tomorrow. Just lost a grandparent. So our condolences to Daniel and Sarah. Now, Hervey Solarte has one of the biggest hits of the ball game, a 2-run homer in the 4th that tied it at 2. His 6th of the year and his 2nd homer in as many nights. He was 4 for 4 yesterday with a home run in their loss to the Yankees in San Diego. There's a strike, 0-1. Do you have swag?
Swag?
Yeah, swag.
Got some stuff in the garage.
No, Matt Kemp says that Jan Hervey Solarte is a guy who's had a lot of swag.
Oh, okay. Swagger, maybe, yeah.
Energy and life, kind of an attitude, a presence, I guess.
I thought you were talking about the Todd Walsh type of swag.
I know that you have a garage full of Brenly bobbleheads. Trying to move those things through Todd's garage. Yeah, I'm surprised with is Todd here tonight? Todd's not here tonight, is he? Yeah, he is here. I'm surprised we didn't get like a Nate Colbert slushy cup or something that he had in the garage.
Kurt Bavacqua.
Yeah. Enzo Hernandez. Segura from the outfield grass. Some old Padres swag from back in the day. Randy Jones comb. Well, he probably didn't use a comb.
Left fielder Alex Dickerson.
There's Alex Dickerson. Todd's always got that kind of stuff in the garage. I don't have any swag either. Just a lot of stuff. Baseball cards.
And depending on where you're at in the totem pole, it's either stuff we all get or stuff we ain't getting.
You don't get the good stuff? You must have some good stuff.
Yeah, you got a few good things.
Yeah.
A few. Well, there was some talk about having Todd Walsh host his own television show.
Really?
But then they determined that there's already a show on TV just like it called Hoarders.
They go to the storage units and stuff?
No, this is where people actually have issues.
Oh, they got the old newspapers?
Yeah.
Is that what Todd's house looks like?
Well, I'm just picturing it in my mind.
Yeah. A lot of string saved up. Big balls of string and yarn.
Cars parked in the front yard because the garage is full of swag.
Swag does sound better than just stuff or junk. Two and two. Well, he's got all those Sports Illustrated. Every time we go to a ballpark and Todd's on the road with us, he has a Sports Illustrated that is appropriate to some visiting player or city that he's pulled out of his archives.
The Bull Luzinski, Greg Luzinski in Philadelphia on that last trip.
Yeah, we were in Cincinnati last year. He had the big red machine, and he was upset, in fact, that the Reds were on the cover of Sports Illustrated so often in the 70s. And I said, well, you know, they are like one of the greatest teams of all time.
Right.
Big red machine. So he went to Ohio upset that they were on the cover. Probably not a recipe for success.
Duh.
Full count, 3-2 on Alex Dickerson. Derek Norris, who homered his last time up, is on deck. Speaking of swag, you have a lot of 4th of July swag. And I don't mean stuff, I mean swag.
Really?
Oh yeah. We mentioned this earlier in the ball game. And our moderately reliable staff has come up with some numbers. You were well, first of all, let's start as a manager. You were 3-0 on July 4th.
And I got fired on July 2nd in 2004, which was a strategic mistake on the part of the Diamondbacks. Wait 2 more days, I'll get you a win.
They gave away a win, basically. You had Randy pitch at Houston in 01 after that was his return to Houston.
Brilliant.
1-3-2. There's a walk. And then in 02, there were no Barry Bonds homers, so your strategy worked out. Giants, you beat the Giants 6-3. Brian Anderson on the mound in that one. And then July 4th, 03, beat the Dodgers in LA, no less, 3-1.
How about that?
Now that's just your managerial record. You were even better as a player on this day.
Come on.
Yeah, here's Derek Norris. Bob Brenly on July 4th. 7 games in your career. You were a .381 hitter on the 4th of July.
Wow.
8 for 21 with a homer, a double, and knocked in 3. So this is your day.
Just a way for me to express my patriotism. I'm telling you, it all goes back to when I was a kid back in Coshocton, Ohio. The 4th of July was the highlight of the year if you were a young baseball player in Coshocton County. You got to go to the fairgrounds and play a game under the lights. Oh, how big is that when you're a kid?
See Travis Jankowski running for Dickerson. Very good speed at first in Jankowski. He'll stay in the game, I assume, and take over in the outfield. I've heard your stories about 4th of July in Coshocton. Very Norman Rockwell, Mid-America type of a deal.
Absolutely. It was a full day at the fairgrounds. They had kids that raised livestock for the 4-H. They'd have a competition in the afternoon, and then the ball games would start about 4 o'clock. The minor little leagues, then the major little leagues, then the pony league, and then we turned it over to fast pitch softball in the evening. Sometimes there was a headliner like Eddie Feigner, the king in his court.
Yeah, they were a big deal back in the day.
Over in the racetrack, we had Joey Chitwood's Auto Thrill Show one year. That was huge.
Driving through stuff that's on fire.
Oh, yeah, up on 2 wheels, driver side down.
Those were the glory days.
Yes, indeed. And then the fireworks show, of course, that was the highlight of the evening.
Well, it'll be the highlight of this evening unless the Diamondbacks come back here. Down 5-3 in the 8th. There goes Jankowski with that speed. And he's in there. Travis Jankowski. Do they still do the whole thing in Coshocton, or have you been in touch with your people?
I don't know. I haven't been back there in a long time, obviously in the summer.
Well, you're a little busy, I know,
yeah.
but you put in a call to the old hometown, find out what's going on.
Well, nobody's home. They're all at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, it's a good point. Fair point. One pitch to Derek Norris. Of course, the place to get your swag at Chase Field is the team shop. My wife Cindy she went down there to get a T-shirt, came back with 3. I said, wait, what?
It's tough to choose. I mean, look at that selection of hats alone. You could spend all day shopping hats.
She found 3 T-shirts that she likes. So it's pretty much the way things go in our house.
If one's good, 3's better.
Not pointing any fingers. And Derek Norris gets this one out to Goslin, and it's going to get to the wall. Jankowski will score easily to make it a 6-3 ball game, and Derek Norris follows up his 2-run home run with an RBI double.
Tell you what, this is a guy that doesn't get the credit he probably deserves for any success the Padres have. When he's in the starting lineup, the Padres are 33-30 this season. When he's not in the starting lineup, they're 2-17. Now, we've been singing his praises about his defense behind the plate, but he brought the bat here tonight with a 2-run homer and now an RBI double.
Yeah, he's driven in half their runs. 6-3 ball game now. Ryan Schimpf, the second baseman. He doubled his last time up. Well, this is the way things have gone for the Diamondbacks as of late. They're down 2. You get the first 2 guys on in the home half. Can't get them home. So it stays 5-3, and then the bullpen has an issue, and the lead expands for the other guys. It's been a recurring theme. Audi ahead 0-2. Glenn Sherlock, the bench coach, on the left. Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, on the right. We know what a pitching coach does and a hitting coach does, obviously. What about the bench coach? What's Sherles doing down there right now? What are his responsibilities over the course of the ballgame?
Well, just constantly be looking ahead and looking at options. You get Padres have the pitcher spot coming up 3 hitters away. You look at the lineup. Who's most likely to hit in that spot? Should we get a relief pitcher up in the event they send Brett Wallace up there? Should we get Andrew Chafin up, a lefty, to face the left-handed hitting Wallace?
So kind of like a big picture guy.
Yeah, big picture guy. And you look at your own lineup, and if your pitcher spot is coming up, you check with the skipper. Who do you think you're going to use in that spot? And then you alert those players well ahead of time so they can go up the tunnel and take some cuts in the batting cage if they want to. Get their legs good and loose. If there's a possibility of a pinch runner, if somebody gets on base, you want to alert that guy so he can get ready to go into the ball game. You just try to stay a little bit ahead of the game. Which is something the manager always tries to do as well, but there's so many things happening so quickly. The bench coach is kind of the guy to slow the game down a little bit and look at the big picture.
And of course, Sherles does such a great job as the coach of the catchers here, always working with the catchers, throwing them balls in the dirt, all that stuff. Throws batting practice, hits infield.
And sometimes it's multiple options. You might go tell a player, hey, if Wellington Castillo reaches, you're going to run for him. If he doesn't reach, you're going to hit for the pitcher spot 2 spots later. So, a guy has an idea of how he's going to be used depending on how the game rolls around.
You don't want to suddenly turn around and tell the guy, hey, get in there.
Go get him. Yeah.
That's catch him off guard that way. 1-2 on Ryan Schimpf, rookie second baseman. That ball's headed for the corner. That's a fair ball. Norris will score easily from second, and back-to-back doubles make it 7-3 San Diego. Another bumpy ride for Daniel Hudson tonight.
There was a change-up that time, just didn't get far enough off the outside corner to Schimpf, who saw that same pitch earlier in the at-bat. That time he was ready for it. Keeps it fair down that right field line for an RBI double.
He's 2 for 4. He's doubled twice. Alexei Ramirez was walked intentionally his last time up. He's 0 for 2. Padres were down 2-0, but San Diego got 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 6th, now 2 more in the 8th. Diamondbacks have out-hit San Diego 10-8, but they trail it 7-3. Silvino Bracho, the Bulldog right-hander, warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. How much of managing is actually just thinking ahead like that, like you were talking about a moment ago?
Well, that's a lot of it, certainly. You still rely on your players to go out there and do what you expect them to do, or at least what you hope they'll do. Any manager will tell you, all the plans in the world and all the anticipation of possible situations that may come up in the future of a ball game. It doesn't matter if the players don't execute. That's one of the things that drives the manager crazy. When you feel you've put everybody in the proper position to make good things happen for your team, and the guys just don't come through. It's the nature of baseball, but sometimes you can make all the right moves and they don't work.
Sure. Sometimes
you can make all the wrong moves and they do work. Just depends on how the players play.
3-1 to Alexei Ramirez.
And sometimes that's where your gut instinct comes in as a manager. The numbers on the stat sheet may say that this is a good matchup for my pitcher, but if you've been watching with your eyes and recently your pitcher hasn't done the job you expect him to do, well, then maybe it's time to pull the plug on that guy and go to somebody else based on what you've seen and the experiences you've had in the game.
3 balls, 2 strikes. That one's going to dunk in. Right center, it's in there. Schimpf will score to make it 8-3. And 4 consecutive Padres have reached against Daniel Hudson, all with 1 out.
Well, and this is really tough to figure for a guy that has the stuff that Daniel Hudson has. I mean, a fastball in the upper 90s, a really wicked changeup in the high 80s, that slider, a good pitch for him at times, but he just seems to find grass every time they make contact against him.
D-backs down 8-3 back after this. We continue the top of the 8th inning. New pitcher for the Diamondbacks. Right-hander Silvino Bracho, 9 appearances in the big leagues this year. An ERA of exactly 8. Currently on his 4th stint with the Diamondbacks. He's given up runs in 3 of his last 4 appearances.
Now pitching, number 61.
Bracho will work to Brett Wallace, the pinch hitter, who will hit for the pitcher. Wallace, the ASU Sun Devil, 209 and 5 home runs.
Number 39, Brett Wallace.
A 3-run San Diego 8th as 4 consecutive Padres reached against Daniel Hudson. Walk, double, double, single. 3 RBI hits. D-backs have the shift on against Wallace. There's ball 1 from Bracho. Jake Lamb, the 3rd baseman, in the 2nd base spot. Wallace, a .313 batter as a pinch hitter this year. He was a very good pinch hitter off the Padre bench last season.
And Wallace had 96 at bats in 64 ball games, a lot of those coming off the bench just like he is right now. Hit .302, 5 homers, 6 doubles, drove in 16 runs.
1st round pick out of ASU by the Cardinals back in the 08 draft. 4 years in the big leagues with the Astros. Baltimore, Toronto, now San Diego. There's ball 2. Alexei Ramirez at first, still just 1 out in the 8th inning. 2-1 to Wallace. that one up in the air. Long run for Ahmed. And it just does drop in foul. Talk about the All-Star game coming up on Fox from San Diego later this month. D-backs prospect Kyle Jensen just named to the Pacific Coast League All-Star team. As homered for the Aces tonight, his 16th of the year. He was the Diamondbacks minor league player of the month in June, Kyle Jensen. Tuffy Gozawish going to that ball game as well, named to the Coast League All-Stars. 2-2 to Wallace. Got him. 95. Bracho gets the strikeout. 2 down.
Good location that time from Bracho. Wallace, a dead low ball hitter, throws that fastball up there around the letters. Wallace can't catch up.
Center fielder.
Now it worked to Melvin Upton Jr. with 2 outs and Ramirez at first. 3 runs in for the Padres in the 8th. Upton singled in his first at bat. Then he has struck out 3 times after that. 1 for 4. Silvino Bracho. We talked about Will Myers' timing mechanism. This is something we've talked about with Bracho as well. That 3-step tap, which is not quite as exaggerated as it was last year. Kind of uses it to get himself set. 1, 2, and 3. The front foot.
And 2 separate stops with his hand in the glove. Stops at the belt, stops up high on the chest, and then drops it back down onto the belt once again.
Starts off in kind of a poor man's Craig Kimbrell kind of a deal there, and then watch the front foot. 1, 2, 3. Glove wiggles. Bracho was very good last year when he came up in September, but he's yet to show the Diamondbacks coaches this year that he can consistently get big league hitters out. They love the stuff. They love the minor league track record, but it's been very much hit or miss at this level this year. Nice breaking ball there. Slider for strike 2. Bracho big numbers in AAA this year. 14 saves, 35 strikeouts in just 26 innings. But his big league ERA this year is 8. And Castillo hangs on. Silvino Bracho comes in, gets 2 strikeouts, but Padres get 3 runs. They lead at 8-3. D-backs down 8-3 as we start the home half of the 8th inning. Our Arrowhead Honda game diagnostic. This is the lineup for the Diamondbacks. The box score looks as such. Big day at the top for Gene Segura and Michael Bourne, but the big guys for the most part, although they do each have an RBI, Goldie and Jay Clan, have not been able to come up with a big hit. Wellington Castillo an offer in there as well.
Diamondbacks with runners in scoring position got the RBI double by Goldie in the first inning. They're 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position since.
New pitcher for the Padres, the right-hander Paul Clemens, claimed off waivers from the Marlins at the end of last month. Just picked up on Friday. Made a couple of starts this year for Miami. In fact, now he's working out the Padre bullpen. Melvin Upton Jr. moves over from center to left, replacing Alex Dickerson, and Travis Jankowski stays in the ball game. He'll take over in center. Here's strike one to Phil Gosselin as we lead off the home half of the 8th. Phil singled in the first. He's 1 for 3. Good news from Reno tonight. In addition to Kyle Jensen's home run, a nice bounce back outing for Braden Shipley, former #1 pick from 3 years ago. Very promising young starting pitcher in the Diamondback system. Worked 8 innings tonight for the Aces, gave up just 2 runs. He's been having a sensational season, but had a couple of rough outings, but bounced back big time tonight. One and 2 on Gosselin. Brandon Drury on deck. Nick Ahmed in the hole. That must have made news in San Diego. Hey, we just picked up a pitcher, Clemens.
All right.
Wait, what? Originally a 7th round pick by the Braves in the 08 draft.
Big fastball, as you just saw there from Clemens, in the mid to upper 90s. Also has an over the top curveball. We'll mix in an occasional straight changeup.
Spent most of this year starting for the Marlins AAA team in New Orleans. His ERA was 4.30. Gosselin drives the 3-2 out to right center field. Jankowski can really cover some ground out there, but Kemp has it for the first out.
Right fielder,
Brandon Drury, 1 for 3 with a single in the first. Little infield squib shot, kind of like a swing and bunt that worked out for a base hit for Brandon. Josh Colmenter started warming up for the Diamondbacks in their bullpen. Pitcher spot would be after Ahmed. There's Josh Colmenter, Garvin Alston, the bullpen coach. Josh had quite an outfit on. I don't know if you saw it before the ball game in the clubhouse. He had his 4th of July outfit on. It was star-spangled spectacular.
Yes, indeed it was.
Really embracing the whole concept. This was Josh Colmenter before the ball game today. What else is new? That's just a regular day for him.
Yeah, he didn't realize it was the 4th of July.
Yeah, who knew? Those are his Monday clothes. Just a nice coincidence. Guess that's why you have a life coach. This guy, he had his shirt ready to go as well. Timing is everything. 3-1. That's well hit and headed for the left field corner. Brandon Drury starting to square the ball up again, and he cruises into second with his 13th double. Just like the ball he hit last night to the gap. That one right on the barrel.
Especially when he gets counts in his favor where he can really be aggressive with that bat. Barrels that ball up into the gap, or rather down the line in left field.
Let's go downstairs to Jody. Jody.
Talking to Brandon today, he said he's regained that feel back. He said yesterday he felt great. He said right now he's going through a very focused batting practice where he's just got that feel. Guys, he was very honest. He said for the last month or so, he felt terrible in the box. He said sometimes I'd look at the pitcher and say, this is just going to be a battle. So you're right. If he looks like he's going well, like you were commenting about yesterday, he said, yeah, I feel great right now.
Yeah, he had about a month-long stretch, Jody, where Brandon, and he was played almost every day still. He hit about 195, only 3 extra base hits in 28-29 games. It just wasn't there for him the way it was earlier this year. And he's in there with a double. And now the trainers are taking a look at Derek Norris.
It looks like Derek might have been hit by the backswing. Watch Brandon Drury as he finishes his swing here. He's around with the bat, long extension. He just kind of brushed up against the elbow of Derek Norris. Didn't look like a bad contact, but must have hit him in a bad spot. Anybody that's ever banged their crazy bone on the edge of a table or something knows how that can feel.
Yeah, that left elbow there, it looks painful. He signaled into the dugout to maybe have Christian Bettencourt get his gear on. Been a big night for Derek Norris. A 2-run homer and an RBI double. He scored twice. They have Austin Hedges, who may be the catcher of the future for the Padres. One of their top prospects, just tearing it up right now in AAA. Bethencourt is the backup, whom they acquired from Atlanta in the offseason. Derek Norris seems to be in a lot of pain.
It's getting to a point now where you have sympathy for a guy that is quite possibly injured and looks like it's not very comfortable for him. But by the same token, you can't stand out there all night and wait for him to feel better.
Christian Bethencourt has got his gear on, and he's going to replace Derek Norris behind the plate. How rare is it do you see the pitcher come out and warm up the catcher? Supposed to be the other way around, right? And here comes Bethencourt.
And this is one of those ones we were talking about, a bench coach earlier alerting players to situations where they might come in the game. But obviously this is one you just have to adjust on the fly as quickly as you possibly can. That's certainly bad news for the Padres. I gave you the numbers earlier. Padres 3 games over 500 when Derek Norris is in the lineup. 15 games under when he's not in the starting lineup.
So this is Bethencourt, his first season with the Padres after coming over from Atlanta. Part of a trade that sent Casey Kelly to the Braves, a top pitching prospect who's had some injury issues. And this guy's an outstanding defensive catcher with a rocket throwing arm. But the Braves finally punted. He was a top prospect in their system for a long time. He's still only 24 years old, but Atlanta, after 8 years with Bethencourt, finally gave up on him. Ton of raw ability here. He actually has such a good arm. He has pitched for Andy Green this year, and he was throwing low 90s.
Yeah, he was gassing. He's pitched a couple of times for Andy Green.
He can really throw from back there. But the rest of the tools haven't quite caught up to the throwing arm.
That mask looks way too small for Christian Bethencourt.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like his face is almost right up against the bars. I guess there's a little wiggle room there, but hopefully he doesn't have to check the effectiveness of that mask.
Well, a chance for Nick Ahmed, who had a base hit his last time up. Brandon Drury at second base, 1 out. D-backs have out hit the Padres 11-9, but they trail at 8-3. Pitcher spot behind Nick. Ricky Weeks Jr. in the on-deck circle. Josh Coleman warming up in the bullpen. sure enough, should have warmed up Bethencourt a little more. That one just went right through him.
They call the wild pitch. That should be a pass ball. That's just a slider off the outside corner. Bethencourt just a little lazy reaching across his body that time.
Wow. All right. Yeah, they're going to change it. Pass ball. Puts Drury at third base. A 1-0 count on Ahmed. Giants have already won. They beat the Rockies 3-1 in San Francisco. Jake Peavy got the win. Dodgers lead the Orioles 7-5. They're in the 9th in LA. To right field for Kemp, coming in, and he makes a terrific catch. Drury will tag. Here's the throw. It's not in time. A pass ball by Bethencourt factors in. The RBI for Ahmed, and it's 8-4.
Sinking floater out there to shallow right field. Once Kemp had to leave his feet, and Drury goes ahead and tags and scores on that ball. Kemp still made it fairly close with that cannon throwing arm he has out there in right field. He's got to get up off the deck to make that throw.
So Nick Ahmed has a single and an RBI tonight. A run in, 2 outs, bases empty for Ricky Weeks Jr., who will hit for the pitcher. Ricky 245 and 4 homers. He walked as a pinch hitter late in the game yesterday. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1. Ricky just back from the bereavement list after losing his grandfather last week. Tapped foul, and it's 0-2. Long run for the Hick dog down there. There's Mark Hicks, our Golden Glover, down the left field line tonight on this Independence Day. Mark working on a holiday. High five. The Hick dog, Mark Hicks, and working our right field line tonight. It's the doctor. Dr. Van Nostrand, David Van Ness. It's an old Seinfeld bit from the clinic. 0-2. Bethencourt getting in the ball game, getting a workout back there. These breaking balls are all in the dirt in the left-hand batter's box coming from Clemens. So far 9 balls, 9 strikes in his 18 pitches. Two and two. Called strike 3, 94. Fastball is in there. And that'll end the inning. We'll go to the 9th. Diamondbacks down 8-4. Summary as we start the 9th inning. Diamondbacks had a 2-0 lead after 1, but Solarte had a 2-run homer in the 4th inning. Eric Norris had a 2-run homer in the 6th that got bumpy then for Archie Bradley. A 3-run 6th, the 3-run 8th. It's 8-4 now as Josh Comenter is on to work the 9th. 10 appearances for Josh this year. A 4.80 ERA. 2 1/3 scoreless in Monday's game against the Phillies. And he's out there to hold the fort, keep this a 4-run ball game.
He's held the opponent scoreless in 8 of his last 9 games. Only 4 earned runs allowed over 14 2/3 innings.
I want to mention at the top of the show how hot Will Myers has been, but he is hitless tonight. He has walked and scored a run, but other than that, he's 0 for 3. National League Player of the Month last month, but not much to show for his effort tonight. Kemp has had a couple of hits, a single, an RBI double. He scored twice. Solarte has walked and homered. Norris homered and double, drove in 3. Ryan Schimpf, their rookie second baseman, has doubled twice. One and 2. Called strike 3, 1 down.
Fireworks must be ready.
I guess so. Fuse is getting short. Kemp 2 for 4. He scored twice.
Once again, the pull shift on for Matt Kemp. This is some tough sledding for Josh Comenter here in this inning. Will Myers was 1 for 1 against him. Matt Kemp at the plate 6 for 13 lifetime with a home run. And the on deck hitter Yangervis Solarte 5 for 9 with a home run against Josh Comenter.
Yeah, he gets the big boys here. 2, 3, and 4 hitters in Andy Green's lineup. These Padres 4th of July uniforms, I keep thinking we're playing the Twins.
Yeah, that's a good call.
They kind of look like the Twins. There's Brandon Bauer warming up.
Very twin-like.
Yeah. Twins have an alternate jersey that looks a lot like that with the blue and the red piping. Jay Clam in from 3rd. Two down for Solarte, who has walked and homered. 1 for 3 tonight.
Third baseman Yangervis Solarte.
Used to be a guy who was a super utility type. Played 3rd, played 2nd, played a little outfield, but now he's locked in. He's their cleanup man. He's a 300 hitter. He's their 3rd baseman.
There was another guy like that was a utility guy for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Josh Harrison.
And Joey Bats, a guy that was just kind of a utility bench player. Nice guy to drop in there, could spell your starters in the infield and the outfield. Never really hit too much, but the light went on for him.
Hey, Joey Bats.
Joey Bats.
Hey.
Tough guy.
That was the bat flip. Joey Bats and the Blue Jays are coming to Chase Field. We were just in Toronto not too long ago. Blue Jays are here later this month. Get your tickets at dbacks.com. Fans, check out Joey Bats. Joey Bats. Josh Donaldson. Oh, that's a Tuesday and a Wednesday. Blue Jays are here for two, July 19th and 20th. That Wednesday game is a day game, matinee pricing. dbacks.com/tickets. Get you a break on the tickets.
Yeah, if defense is your thing, you can watch Kevin Pillar out there in center field. Lord only knows what he might do.
He made a spectacular catch when we were there.
Unbelievable. Went face first into the wall out there in center field, taking extra bases away.
One and two on the on here. Solarte. Solarte, when he was a utility guy, last year had 8 different gloves in his locker. 8 gloves. Yeah, infield, outfield. That first half of last season with the Padres, after coming over from the Yankees, playing everywhere. But by the All-Star break, he'd become their everyday guy at third after Chase Headley had been traded and Will Middlebrooks was sort of washed out. 2-2.
One thing about Solarte, he's a little bit predictable as a hitter. He wants to pull the ball. We saw him hit the home run out of the ballpark on a pitch that was probably outer third of the plate, maybe even a little farther out than that. Reached out and hooked it back to right field. His next 2 at bats attempting to pull the ball, he hit easy ground balls right to Gene Segura at second base.
This is out to Drury. And he runs it down. A 1-2-3 ninth for Josh Colminter. Gene Segura will lead it off in the Diamondback ninth. Fans everywhere. We start at the bottom of the ninth inning, down 4 runs. This was the highlight for the D-backs. Jake Lamb, an RBI triple in the 5th. It's our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play the game.
How about this, partner? You could win some bets with this one.
Yeah.
Who leads the National League in triples?
Not Jake Lamb, really?
Jake Lamb has 6. He's tied with another player. Never get it. Jay Bruce of the Cincinnati Reds and Jake Lamb are tied for the National League lead with 6 triples apiece.
Wouldn't have got Jay Bruce.
No, never, never.
New pitcher for the Padres in the bottom of the 9th inning. Guy who might be their new closer now that they just traded Fernando Rodney to Miami. It's Brandon Mauer's 40th appearance. Just picked up his first save of the year Friday against the Yankees in San Diego. Gene Segura with 3 singles and 2 stolen bases leads off the 9th. Segura has now hit safely in 8 straight, 11 of his last 12. How does Jay Bruce get any triples in that ballpark at all? I mean, the fences are so short in Cincinnati.
Probably all on the road.
Away from good American ballpark. Must be laying off that chili. Probably a good call. We're in Cincinnati later this month, in fact, for a weekend. 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. That's a long road trip. Cincinnati, and 4 in Milwaukee, and then 3 games at the Dodgers. It's a long trip. 97. He's got closer velocity, and he strikes out Segura. Breaks his bat in frustration.
Yeah, chases one up there above the top of the zone. Mauer mixes it up pretty good. He's got that good fastball in the mid to upper 90s. Has a real nasty slider he'll throw about a third of the time.
Michael Bourne singled in his last 2 at bats, has scored a run, stolen a base. Brandon Mauer pitched very well last year, 7-4 with a 3 ERA, but did not pitch after August 9th. Went on the DL with right shoulder inflammation. Tried to come back in September last year, but felt soreness, so they shut him down right away. He just turned 26 years old yesterday. And he says that he'd like to close. Rodney has been traded to the Marlins for a pitching prospect, guy they think can be part of the rotation down the road. But Andy Green likes Brandon Mauer as a closer. Says he's got a kill pitch, a powerful weapon. Fastball, slider, curveball.
Well, he's tied for the team lead in saves now with Rodney gone with 1. Ryan Buchter, a left-hander, has 1. Mauer has 1, and Carlos Villanueva, a right-hander, has 1.
Well, he's got that hard stuff, and they had experimented with him as a starter, and then so okay, I'm going to start. I need a curveball now. I need something else. Here's a fly ball out to Upton Jr. But that kind of made him less effective trying to mix in another pitch, and so when he got back into the bullpen, it was back to okay, just let it rip. 97, here it is, and it's worked out. A chance for Goldie with 2 down. Diamondback Live post-game show coming up following our ball game. Goldie had an RBI double in the first inning. He scored a run, 1 for 4. Yeah, Mauer's out there just letting it go. 96. '97, 0-2. Called strike 3. 97 rings up Goldie. Goldie caught looking for the 2nd consecutive bat, and the Padres take the opener of this 3-game series. 8-4 the final. Nearly 40,000 in attendance. Post-game fireworks spectacular coming up in a moment, but a disappointing finish to what started out in such promising fashion for the Diamondbacks.
It really did. Just having trouble getting in sync right now. Days they hit, they don't pitch well. Days they pitch well, they don't score enough. Some days they don't play good defense. Boy, this was a really disappointing loss against the Padres team.
Yeah, they out-hit San Diego 11-9. They led it 2-0, but they lose 8-4. Let's start Diamondback Live post-game show with Todd Walsh. Todd.
Steve, thank you very much. In front of 39,000 fans, that